Hello. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to our Tamil Nadu Roundtable today. Just to begin the event, may I request all of you to please either switch off your mobiles or keep them on a silent mode. Thank you. May I request everyone to please rise for Tamil Thai Walter.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனம் என திகழ் பரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கனமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிலமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
Thank you. That was such a wonderful rendering. May I now invite Mr. V. Arun Roy, Secretary, Department of Industries, Investment Promotion and Commerce, Tamil Nadu, to the podium. I also invite Mr. Shailesh Dobal and Mr. A.K. Bhattacharya on the stage for lighting the lamp. Welcome, sir. Thank you, sir. We at Business Standard always try to bring out the best practices in the world and keep our readers abreast of the developments around the globe. Today's event is one such endeavor to understand the success story of Tamil Nadu and its movers and shakers. Today's session on advanced manufacturing and rising stars like GCCs and Fintech will definitely add value to the state's thirst on these areas. It's my pleasure now to invite Mr. V. Arun Roy to deliver the keynote address.
Esteemed senior editors, senior journalists and senior executives of the Business Standard newspaper, my senior colleague, Additional Chief Secretary, captains of industry, distinguished guests, a good morning to all of you. Let me first thank Business Standard for organizing this roundtable on Tamil Nadu's industrial ecosystem. Business Standard is a newspaper which has, over the years, maintained a very high standard of journalism. I must say that I'm a regular reader of Business Standard. I subscribe to Business Standard at home. I read it every day. Not just because even when I was not working in the industry sector, I read it. and it is quite thrilling to see some of the names I've read in newspaper in person, like Mr. A.K. Bhattacharya here and Mrs. Nivedita here. So I must also say that I read it not just for the facts and analysis, but I feel the best book reviews in Indian newspapers is published in Business Standard. And that's something I'm very fond of books. So I have a very special relationship with Business Standard. So indeed, it's really an honor and privilege to be standing here today. I think it's a very opportune time to discuss about Tamil Nadu's advanced manufacturing and GCC's ecosystem, because we are moving towards a major investment promotion event, the Global Investors Meet, which is scheduled to happen on January 7th and 8th. So at this point, we are giving a renewed thrust to investment promotion. And it's the right time we discuss and identify issues. There's a lot of strengths, but there are a lot of issues as well. So it's a good time that the best minds come together and identify areas where we need to work on. And I'm sure this full day workshop will throw up a lot of, illuminate our path for future even brighter. Talking about Tamil Nadu, it is one of India's most industrialized states. It has the highest number of factories in the country. It has the highest industrial labor force in the country. And Tamil Nadu's industrial sector, which contributes about 34% of, the secondary sector contributes about 34% of our economy, has been a major driver of our state's economic growth. In fact, it's a virtuous cycle. The industrial sector has contributed to economic growth, and economic growth has contributed to the growth of the industrial sector. So it's a virtuous cycle. And Tamil Nadu economy, by the way, is one of the, not only is that it is the second largest state economy in the country, it's exceptional in the sense of it's been a consistently growing economy. We have been able to maintain a growth rate of 6 to 8% across the years, and has been in most years ahead of the national growth rate. So the Tamil Nadu economy, powered by an industrial sector, is one of the great growth engines of our nation itself. When I look at the industrial ecosystem of the state, there are a few things which stand out, which I can flag so that it can probably be discussed in further detail during the discussions during the day. One is its diversity. We are not a state which is just dependent on one or two industries. There is a huge diversity. There is both manufacturing as well as service sector. Within manufacturing itself, we have automobile, leather, textiles, general engineering, renewable energy components, and so on. That's one fact. Then the diversity is not just about sectors, it's about sizes as well. It's not just large industries. We have very dynamic and very deep-rooted MSME ecosystem. We have the second highest number of registered MSMEs in the countries. And MSMEs itself is so diverse. There is diverse MSMEs at the lower end of the technology spectrum. There are MSMEs which are so technologically advanced that they are direct suppliers to aerospace companies like Boeing or ISRO, and companies like which maintain very high standards of vendor quality. So that is another aspect. The third is the leadership we maintain in many sectors. Tamil Nadu is a leader. For example, we are the largest exporter of electronic goods today, and by a wide margin. In textiles, we are a leader. In non-leather footwear, we are a leader. In EV production, we are a leader in the country. Another important factor probably which can be noted is the agility of our industrial ecosystem. We have been at the forefront of transitions. Industry or industrial sector is not stationary. There is continuous change, and it's always important that one needs to be at the vanguard of the change. And Tamil Nadu economy and industrial sector has been able to do that. A good example would be the automobile sector. At one point, we used to pride ourselves as the Detroit of Asia, and because of our dominance in the ICE engines. But as and when the EV ecosystem took shape and gathered strength, we were able to transition smoothly towards the EV ecosystem as well. Today, I'm proud to say that 7 out of every 10 electric two-wheelers manufactured in India is manufactured in Tamil Nadu, and about 40% of all EVs manufactured in India is manufactured in Tamil Nadu. The same has been the case with engineering, wherever new opportunities opened up, we grabbed that opportunities. For example, renewable energy components manufacturing, wind blade manufacturing, and solar cell manufacturing. All these new areas, which were emerging sectors, Tamil Nadu has soon grabbed these opportunities and assumed leadership of these sectors. Another factor I should mention here is the resilience of our economy. Tamil Nadu's industrial ecosystem. Even when during COVID, when the entire nation shut down, of course, we also shut down, but we took special measures to ensure that the vital industries continue to function. And as a result, even when the country had a negative growth rate, almost all parts of the world had a negative growth rate. Tamil Nadu had a +1% growth rate even during the COVID years, and that's because we kept the essential industrial production alive, and we were one of the first states to bounce back. And I mean, bouncing back was easier thanks to the initiatives, thanks to those initiatives and the inherent strength of our industrialists and entrepreneurs. Having said all that, I should flag some of the issues we face also. Particularly, we have problems in the sense transition. Though we grabbed opportunities in transition, it's a continuous process. It's like being on a treadmill where one needs to run faster and faster to stay in the same place. So we need to be at the vanguard of these changes. We need to be on constant vigil. For example, one transition which is happening all over the world is the increasing focus on sustainable production, less energy intensive production with less carbon footprint. And increasingly, we are all sure that developed nations, the nations to which Tamil Nadu exports, would put a lot of premium on the carbon footprint we are creating as part of our production process. So that is something our industrial ecosystem need to adopt to it, and that is a challenge. Not only it is not just a technological challenge, but it's also a financial challenge. That would mean we need to invest more on green technologies. Our labor force need to be trained on working on these green technologies. There is a human resource challenge as well. One of Tamil Nadu's strengths has always been its very trained, skilled manpower. But we increasingly find that Tamil Nadu is a state with the highest gross enrollment ratio in the country, almost double of the national average. So it's always a challenge to meet the employment aspirations of a more educated workforce. We are no longer, our boys and girls are no longer satisfied with just electronic assembling, where it's more of a manual process. Their aspirations are to take managerial positions, to take R&D positions, which means our ecosystem also need to move in every sector. From assembling, we need to move towards higher value addition oriented industries, more research oriented industries, more GCC kind of industries. And of course, that is one of the themes of today's discussion as well. There is also infrastructure challenges which we will face in future because we are a fast growing economy. Our power production needs to match up with, we are at a power surplus economy, but our power production needs to match up to our growth aspirations. It needs to move away from coal, and we need to be more green. We need to produce more green power. We need to invest more in storage systems, pump storage, solar cells, and so on. Water is another area where we need to invest. Tamil Nadu is a state with no permanent perennial rivers except one. So we need to invest in sustainable water solutions like desalination, tertiary treatment of municipal water, and so on, to keep the industrial engine running. So there are a lot of challenges, a lot of opportunities, but on the whole, I can summarize and say that it is indeed very exciting times, and I wish the discussions which are to follow, I'm sure that the discussions to follow will touch some of these issues which have been flagged and come up with a few suggestions which would guide the path of the Industries Department and the Government of Tamil Nadu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Roy. It's a very great speech. In fact, many of us didn't know that in the COVID period when the world was shrinking, Tamil Nadu was plus 1%. Actually, that's quite commendable efforts from the government and people like you, sir. So thank you very much again. So we'll just rearrange the chairs before we begin. Just give us a couple of minutes. Hello. So while we are running the chairs, after a great speech by Mr. Roy, Tamil Nadu is always known for collaboration of government and industries for the progress of the state. After listening to the government, it's time to listen to the industry. So I now invite Mr. Gopalakrishnan CS, Hyundai Motors India, Mr. Hansraj Verma from TIIC. Can we give a big round of applause to the panelists, please? Mr. Bala M from MedTech and Mr. Karthikeyan P, Nokia Chennai factory, for a panel discussion moderated by Ms. Nivedita Mukherjee.
Hello, am I audible? Yeah, okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this fantastic panel discussion on advanced manufacturing. It's a breezy day, but it's crispy and sunny, unlike 2 weeks ago when we had planned to have this summit. So welcome again to this roundtable. We'll begin by, throwing a question to all of you on what exactly Tamil Nadu offers to you all more than any other state. Yes, would you like to start, Mr. Karthikeyan?
Hello. Yeah, so I represent Nokia Networks. So just I'd like to clarify a little bit on the brand confusion. So we are into the network equipment providers. So electronic manufacturing, we make 5G equipments for the world. Been here for last 15 years. So would like to mention one thing is one of the most industry-friendly environment here. So like Mr. Arun Roy said, the various sectors which are there. In electronic manufacturing, we are one of the largest exporters of electronic goods and domestic supply. The ecosystem which is developed here over a period of years is quite sustainable. So the way the electronic component manufacturing and the other consumer goods manufacturing has come up is good. When we take the general requirement of an industry, what an industry needs, the key features are like one of the thing is talent pool. The city is, Tamil Nadu in general is very high on education standards. So we have a talent pool from the base work environment to the senior level, the talent which are required for any industries. So that is very abundant here. The educational institutions which are here. There's a very strong collaboration between industry, academia to have that infrastructure being developed. Then coming to the basic infrastructure, what we have in Tamil Nadu is like, it's well connected by seaport and airport and other things. I'm sure Hyundai will speak about that when they started their journey. I was reading about how they started the setup here and it became one of the global manufacturing house. But then that infrastructure is a very strong point here, well connected and a very business friendly atmosphere which is given here. These are the few very important aspects to be running here. And like Mr. Arora said, the government is always trying to support industries in terms of making it. So what he mentioned in COVID, I still remember me along with our factory head traveling to the Kanjipuram collectorate to get a permission. We are one of the essential manufacturing in terms of telecom goods. We started the operation after a week with a very minimal staff to operate it here. And government was helping to start this operation. So it is not that we face that we are trying to do, but then in every aspect they were trying to help. And there are a lot of other schemes which are here, which will help towards making the manufacturing. We have a lot of export promotional schemes which are from the center. There are a lot of the PLI scheme which came in here. We are one of the participants of the PLI, which is boosting the manufacturing ecosystem here. And we have been promoting the electronic manufacturing semiconductor. What requires to be done is the semiconductor manufacturing, which we are trying to convince our ecosystem suppliers and partners to be putting up shops here. That is something which is lagging in terms of that. If you take automotive, almost 90-95% is localized here. But in electronics, the base core manufacturing semiconductor is still a long way to go. So these are the few things I would like to add in terms of the manufacturing facilities which are provided here in the state.
Those are interesting points coming from Nokia. Mr. Verma, for the MSME sector, what have you really gained from Tamil Nadu?
Okay. I am part of the government ecosystem. I represent the Tamil Nadu Industrial Investment Corporation, which is India's oldest state finance corporation, formed in 1949. It was responsible in its first 74 years for the brick and mortar development, industrial development of Tamil Nadu. Most of the marquee names were financed by us. Now it's TIC 2.0. We are guiding our MSMEs and the industry sector in sustainability in energy transition. The question is what Tamil Nadu offers to the industries. As a state body, state PSU, with a direct connect with the MSME sector, direct interface with the 3,000 investees for our clients, indirect connect with all the MSMEs in the state. The biggest strength of Tamil Nadu is it's got a very even spread of industrial urban clusters. Hosur to Tuticorin, right from Tirunelveli to Chennai, unlike the other states. Tamil Nadu is just not one cluster, mega cluster, it is multiple clusters. So this kind of decentralized industrialization with specific clusters like the Chennai cluster comprising of the Ambattur, Shrimapudur, the emerging Hosur cluster, Salem cluster, Coimbatore cluster, Trichy. They offer a very, very exciting opportunities for investments in Tamil Nadu. The other strength of Tamil Nadu is it's very abundant in green energy. We want to position in the gym, as our Honorable Minister is going to address in the daytime, green manufacturing Tamil Nadu. We are blessed by nature in terms of having solar, wind, hybrid, onshore wind, nearshore wind. Now, the best potential for offshore wind is going to be in Tamil Nadu. Tenders for the seabed leasing will come out in January. So with this combination plus hydro and biomass. I also head the state biomass board, biofuels board. With the combination of these RE energies, we should be in a position to give the energy industries RTC power, round the clock power. And today with the emerging trends of CBAM or any of the scope, states which minimal carbon footprint of the products are going to rule the world market. They're going to continue to be a part of the global supply chains.
Thank you. Mr. Gopalakrishnan of Hyundai. Mr. Gopalakrishnan, would you like to talk about, what Tamil Nadu has to offer and what can it offer in future that you're looking for, and ahead of a mega investor summit, what would your recommendation be?
Thank you very much. Good morning to all. As a smart mobility solutions provider, we are making almost 2,300 cars a day, 350 variants, exporting to 85 plus countries. We have been getting excellent support right from the day one, and particularly during pandemic, we had to stop the production and we had to implement various social distancing solutions. And with the support of Tamil Nadu government, continuous support, we are able to start. We are the first OEM to start the production, rebouncing the production. We were able to achieve our target. So thanks for their wonderful support. In terms of what Tamil Nadu is offering, like. As he rightly said, the skill sets, we have an excellent talent pool here. Over and above the, we have very good infrastructure, ecosystem, connectivity, everything. So that we could, contribute to the global volume. We are right now 16%, we are contributing to the total global volume of Hyundai as a Hyundai Motor Group. And our success journey still continues. And, last May, we have signed an MOU to invest 20,000 crores in Tamil Nadu over a period of 10 years, and we are going to install 100 EV chargers in Tamil Nadu to improve the infrastructure. And we are also going to collaborate with Tamil Nadu Guidance in setting up the World Economic Forum and Guidance collaborated, advanced manufacturing hub. I am happy to announce that we are going to collaborate with Tamil Nadu in supporting to bring the advanced manufacturing practices. What I suggest here is like if the ecosystem available, we have a lot of talent pool and infrastructure. Already, if the government is facilitating some kind of assessment of all the the industries. Right now, all the industries are at various levels of maturity in terms of the advanced manufacturing practices. So if they're able to go through some kind of assessment methodology, and if they're able to identify the gap points where they can improve, so that they can improve their competencies, that will help to leverage the advanced manufacturing practices. So that is what I would suggest at this point. Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Bala from 3i MedTech, it's a new venture that you launched recently. We were talking about it just a while back. Can you tell the audience about, how Care is using advanced manufacturing and new technology really, in imaging and other spheres that you're all working in?
Thank you. Good morning to all. Among the panel, probably I'm unique in terms of medical equipment, which is a very nascent industry, especially in India. In fact, if I have to bring, because I'm 30 years in the industry, Tamil Nadu was one of the pioneers in mid-80s to start manufacturing ultrasound scanners. Even today, Other than global MNC, no company is manufacturing. We started in 1985, late 90s. Unfortunately, for whatever reasons, maybe because of the demand and other things, we have lost out. But here is an opportunity, because why medtech industry is going to be, in my view, could be the next pharma or IT. Okay, could be the next pharma or IT, whatever 2000 where we started pharma and IT, because of the competitiveness of our industry. If I have to look at any of the, if you buy a cell phone or even a automobile or any of the industry, you go to the hotel, stay here, you almost pay at international prices, almost at international prices. But healthcare, though we crib about the healthcare cost, it is 1/10 of the world prices. A cardiac surgery, if done, is $30,000. It is done at $3,000 to $4,000 in India. So whoever is in the ecosystem have to face the brunt and still be profitable in that industry. If you can crack that, then you can imagine we could be the global player as good as IT or pharma. We could be the medtech capital of manufacturing to the world. And that is where I think the government needs to look at this industry as a very nascent industry and do a lot more to this industry, because this has a future potential. Today, medtech Indian market is about $11, $12 billion, and it has a potential to grow to $50 billion, with significant portion can come from export. And that is where I think there is a huge opportunity. And as a company, we are into imaging. And why imaging is because in a share of wallet of hospital or a healthcare provider, almost 50% is imaging equipment. When I say imaging, anything you do imaging, right from a simple X-ray machine all the way up to an MRI is what we deal with. And we manufacture here in Chennai. We have a facility in Tambaram. And most of the high-end hospitals use our digital X-ray machine. If you walk into any Apollo hospitals, you will find our digital X-ray machines. And all government hospitals, any of the leading hospitals here, whether it is MIOT or any of the hospital Ramchandra, you would find our digital X-ray machines, high-end machines available here. So in terms of future, I think there is a big hope, and definitely Tamil Nadu has been recognized as one of the key areas of growth in this industry. And there is a MedTech Park, which is an integrated ecosystem, which is coming up in Oragadam. And that is going to really fuel the growth of medtech industry in Tamil Nadu.
Medtech as new IT and pharma, those are encouraging words. Mr. Karthikeyan, I would come to you, and next I would like to go a bit into micro. What exactly is your company doing in the area of innovation, in advanced manufacturing, that will help Tamil Nadu realize its goal of maybe 1 trillion economy in the near future?
Yeah, thank you. As I said, what we do is the network equipment manufacturing here. So we are also located in Oragadam, near to many other industries which are there. As I said, we are 15 years old here. Nokia generally known for mobile handset, but then it's a global company, one of the 2 or 3 large manufacturers who are delivering network solutions. So probably more than 50% of your calls which are happening through our network. So this is a B2B division which is not known to many, but it's a manufacturer. It's the last phase of the supply chain which is there. We have research happening in Finland, US and China. And then we have the manufacturing is what is here. In terms of innovation, the question which was asked, so the electronic manufacturing by design is an advanced manufacturing. You can say that the SMT, which is placing the components, the latest 5G equipment, which are almost in half meter by half meter, PCBA assembly, contains 18,000 components on a single PCB, which means top and bottom put together. So that's by design, electronic manufacturing is automated. And it's not a very high people-intense process what we have, unlike the consumer goods manufacturing, like mobile phones or a laptop manufacturing or any other electronics manufacturing. So it is less intense. We are not like 10,000 people or 20,000 people who make this kind of consumer goods. We have around 1,500 people who are doing a high value addition there. We adopted the Industry 4.0, which was started, this buzzword started somewhere 7-8 years back. In fact, I still remember my first visit to Germany when our Honorable Prime Minister, and India was a partner company in Germany for this Industry 4.0. We started to understand, many of our Indian companies were also there. We try to adopt various tools to make it more efficient. In terms of, we have taken an approach called DART plus C, which is digitalization, automation, robotics, transparency with connectivity. So we try to make the factory one of the advanced setups to have efficient operations. As Mr. Arun Rai said, the aspiration of the people to move from the redundant jobs to high value addition jobs. So we have tried to move out the non-value added and redundant operations and convert them with automation. So the reporting, the connectivity, all those things are now more or less automated. There is always a debate between automation versus the people cost, but it's not that. So we have been constantly in the same manpower for the last, say, 10 years or so. But we are trying to add value to the people doing, instead of a mundane, repetitive job, we are trying to make them do high-end job where they feel pride to work and contribute. In this aspect, as I said, Tamil Nadu government is trying to set up an advanced manufacturing hub here. Coincidentally, I was part of that CA roundtable organized. I guess Sir were also there during that conference. So how to make this whole thing? There's a good amount of leverage from government. They're trying to visit various countries, learn faster and adopt the way it is. Coincidentally, I was at TANSAM on Friday. TANSAM is, say, Tamil Nadu Advanced Manufacturing setup. So it's something which is for the industries. If you take large companies, they'll have some or other internal teams to work on this digital twins and automation, connectivity, robotics. But when you take a small scale industry, which MSME, which Verma sir spoke about, they need a guidance, and when you go to a consultant, they'll give you big bills. Sorry if there are consultants in this group audience, but then the big bills which will never start up for an MSME or a small scale industry. If you're trying to make the state as one of the advanced manufacturing setups, we have to take the entire ecosystem along with. So few companies like the large companies who have experience in multiple countries, MNCs, have an ecosystem which is there within the company. But when we need some small scale industries to come up at par with the advanced manufacturing, we need support from government to set up an agency which can unbiased support all these initiatives. So they've been training, I guess, more than 20,000 students. Just 1 year back, they have trained 20,000 students on advanced manufacturing skills. So the academia industry gap is also coming down. So the way, at least 20 years back when I passed out the engineering, it is the academia and the industry connect was very less. We used to go for internship trainings and finish it off. But then now, there are courses which are introduced which gives you much more practical insights of how manufacturing will be involved, how IT industry will be involved, how various domains which are there which can be involved. So that is something which can be done by government, and they are doing a commendable job, a phenomenal job in bringing that skill set to a next level which can support the industry. So, yeah, thank you.
Mr. Verma, as CMD of TIIC, how do you see investment in this area, and what are you doing about it?
As Karthikeyan mentioned, the base, the foundation, the strength of Tamil Nadu industrial sector is the MSMEs. We have to get them future ready. Now, what is TIC doing? If the MSME ecosystem is strong, then it's the added incentive for the investments, big investments to come to Tamil Nadu. End of the day, these MSMEs are the vendors for all the OEMs. TIC was the first PSU to have its own ESG and IR4 cell. We are sensitizing our MSMEs about the emerging trends, that are going to impact them, whether it's the European Union deforestation regulation, which will impact the leather sector in a big way, the CBAM, which reporting already started, or the shipping, European Union emission trading systems, or the German due diligence supply chains. We have started now in our appraisal to have one para on sustainability of the MSMEs. As Karthik was mentioning, our MSMEs don't need expensive solutions. They need homegrown appropriate solutions. Towards that, they need to come on board with energy efficiency, adoption of RE, and shop floor improvements. So concepts of like lean from Toyota or any of the leading manufacturers are very essential. These shop floor improvements will enable them to enhance their productivity, reduce their carbon footprints. All MSMEs must start looking very seriously, preparing for the future to reduce their specific power consumption, specific water consumptions. These are doable with proper guidance. So take as a part of its lending plus value proposition, beyond financing them, is also embedding sustainability in the MSMEs by capacity building and facilitation through partnerships with various stakeholders. As regards skilling, there's a very interesting experiment in Tamil Nadu. Tata Technologies recently funded, in partnership with the state government, about 2,000 crores in 76 ITIs. These ITIs spread throughout the state have got the state-of-the-art equipment, hardware, software, paint shop, IR4 assembly lines to teach the new generation ITI graduates during the weekends, and in partnership with the industry over the Saturday, Sunday, upskill the existing workforce. We have to get our workforce ready for IR4 in a phased manner. If the MSME ecosystem in Tamil Nadu is strong, the industrial base is strong and sustainable. Now, this will also need financing. We're in talks with the leading financial institutions like State Bank of India, NABARD, SIDBI, who got huge credit lines from external agencies, low-cost funds only for green projects. So we're negotiating with them for a special line of credit. Can we be the channel partner for them for promoting rooftop solar in the MSMEs? The huge rooftops are there, energy efficiency projects in the MSMEs. So they come on par. The key message is that we have to start preparing our MSMEs to face the future. It's going to be a VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous. Let us not be overwhelmed by the future trends. Let's start preparing today and then make the MSMEs the valuable partners of the industrial base of Tamil Nadu and valuable partners of the global supply chain. A strong MSME ecosystem is going to get the best investments in Tamil Nadu. Because as such, Tamil Nadu offers the best throughput per employee, the best results, best returns on the capital for any investment. When you see the ecosystem of the spread of the state, the skill sets, the port system, the ability of the workforce to adapt to the new trends, and a state ready for energy transition, ready to be poised to be the green management hub of the nation and the world.
Mr. Krishnan, from Hyundai, what is the next level of innovation that we can expect? Anything that has not been spoken about yet? Give us some headlines.
Yeah, since you have talked about $1 trillion economy, let me share the thought of our Honorable Tamil Nadu's Industry Minister. Tamil Nadu will be leapfrogging into future of manufacturing using Industry 4.0 principles, and it is crucial to achieve the $1 trillion economy. In terms of advanced manufacturing technologies, our approach is basically, we have a concept called MCOD, a 5-pillar focused approach, customer focused, human centric, resource circularity, open innovation, and data driven approach. We have a long-term plan to become a smart, sustainable, intelligent factory. We've got a detailed roadmap, and We have started our journey 6-7 years back. I'm very proud to say that we have been awarded the Smart Factory of the Year award by Frost & Sullivan over last consecutive 3 years. In terms of customer focused, we have been implementing various digital manufacturing solutions to reduce the new model launch time, like we have used digital pre-assembly, robo offline testing, virtual reality training to the operators. That has really, considerably we could reduce the new model launch time. And in terms of the automation, we are basically trying to focus on how we can, support and augment the workers' productivity at the same time by ensuring the safety as well. Wherever it is dangerous and difficult jobs, monotonous job, we are trying to automate it. We have got almost 700 robots, and we are focusing on how can we reduce the operators' fatigue. We got a specific assessment methodology called REBA, Rapid Body Engagement Assessment. We have developed a wearable vest exoskeleton which can reduce the fatigue for the operator while he is mounting the underbody works in the assembly of cars. In terms of open innovation, we got a specific campaign which engages all the operators, senior level people, by which we have implemented various digital solutions called smart marker, smart pen. It is digitally connected. As and when it is making a mark or tightening it, it immediately gives a signal and it is confirming that. And in terms of circularity, we are continuously working how the manufacturing ecosystem is more eco-friendly, focusing on resource generation, recycling, upcycling. I must say that we were able to reduce almost 38% of our emission, which is close to 1 lakh tons of CO2 emission over last 5 years in scope 1 and scope 2. Right now we are at RE 64%. We'll be touching around 100% by the year 2025. In terms of data driven, we have got a dedicated IoT network and platform. Okay, so close to 2,000 critical machines are connected with this network. Almost 12 billion data points we are collecting it. We got 150 dashboards, 80 data scientists trained by IIT, Chennai, and Great Lakes. So all these ecosystems are utilized to manage the entire shop. To the specific breakthrough in the manufacturing, one is, as I already said, the wearable vest exoskeleton, which reduces the operator's fatigue considerably. Another one is the deep learning based vehicle inspection, which very drastically reduce the vehicle defects in the final assembly line. So these are the two major breakthroughs. That's thank you.
Mr. Krishnan, I have an add-on question for you. Mr. Roy mentioned that from Detroit of Asia, Tamil Nadu is increasingly becoming an EV hub. Hyundai also chose Tamil Nadu for its EV plant. Any reason why Tamil Nadu was chosen, and what kind of innovation are you looking for?
Right now we are producing the EV and ICE in the same line, and the two models we have got a very good response in the market, and we got future plans as well to meet the requirements of the market. And we are continuously upskilling our employees, to produce the EV cars, and we have technology in terms of hydrogen cars as well. And as I already told you that we are going to invest for battery system assembly plant, which will cater up to 70,000 units to 1 lakh units a year. So we can make the battery system assembly in Tamil Nadu itself. So this whole ecosystem we are developing, and whatever the good practices in advanced manufacturing, we are communicating to our suppliers as well, and we are hand-holding them so that they will also leverage these benefits so that they can also improve their competencies. Yeah.
Thanks. Mr. Bala, any use cases in healthcare that you can talk about using modern technology, innovation that we can benefit from?
Yeah. while I talked about manufacturing of medical equipment in India, if I have to ask myself, what do I manufacture? Today, core technology, like for instance, I talked about digital X-ray machine, right? The core technology are two critical components, which is an X-ray tube and the detector. We don't manufacture any of that. None of the companies in India manufacture, so we import. So 60% by value is import. So what is how can I be more competitive if I import the core components from outside? So this is where I think the government has to support in terms of creating infrastructure and vendor ecosystem, which will help companies. Like we are an MSME, so to invest on an X-ray tube plant is not going to be easy. Of course, multinationals like GE has invested in India, but that is for their captive requirement globally. So India has a talent to develop a world-class X-ray tubes. But what we had probably 40 years is Bharat Electronics used to manufacture X-ray tubes in India. Today we don't even manufacture X-ray tubes, which is a very basic technology. So that is where government should help in terms of, for core technology, there should be a different method of approach. Could be co-investment model or entire plant and equipment to be invested by government so that we can leverage that. That is one area where definitely can help. The other area where I think you touched that point, as an MSME, our innovation should not be in producing the next X-ray tube, the next high technology X-ray. That is for multinationals to do. What we have to do is to create what is relevant for markets like India. For instance, I will tell you, we have a high-end digital X-ray machine, okay, which is completely automated. The technician sitting in the console room can operate, the arm moves on its own and all that. And the equipment costs about 1 crore. A digital X-ray machine, and government of Tamil Nadu buys, Apollo, every customer buys. But if you go to the actual user, most of the places when we go, they don't even use the automated equipment. When I ask them, hey, why you are not using? No, sir, the patient gets scared. Because the patient, when they are lying there, and the equipment comes down, they don't want to use, they want a technician next to them. So our innovation should not be there in adopting. Unfortunately, even the government tenders today comes with US FDA approval. Do you have all these automation? Yeah, that will increase the cost, but that is not even utilized by. So our innovation should be like what you said, should be in, can I work in low power? Can my equipment work on low bandwidth? Can I work in lower frequency where I can get the same image quality? That is one area we can focus. What is strength of Tamil Nadu? If you really look at it, or even strength of India, we have two biggest strengths which China does not have, which is clinical expertise of our clinicians, doctors, which is on par with the rest of the world. And today, the environment is, they are willing to work with the industry to create new products, work with companies like us to do innovation, not just on the cutting the next technology, but also on the frugal innovation. That is one area. And software. We have a great skill of software. In fact, our company, if you look at 3i, is imaging information insights, which is where I think artificial intelligence plays a big role. Today, in a rural setup, somebody has a chest X-ray done, but they have to send they don't have a radiologist to report. They have to send it to a place, nearest place, and then get the report done. Today with AI, you can detect on the fly. The machine can tell you whether this patient has a tuberculosis or a pneumonia or anything on the fly. So those are the innovations which we should focus on rather than looking at creating the next big. While we do all that, like today, we will be the first company to manufacture MRI machines in India, which is, as one of the highest technology. Of course, we work with some global technology partners. But as an MSME, we will focus on innovation which are frugal and especially cater to the needs of the markets like India or the customers like the patients. But if we can crack that, then we are relevant in 100 countries because the same challenges are there in 100 other countries. So we could be an export hub. We could be a center of excellence. Another thing I think as a Tamil Nadu should focus is medtech is a very large area. You have from critical care device to imaging to multiple other areas. We should choose an area of focus. Instead of being fragmented, it is all about volume. Medtech is all about volume. Any manufacturing is all about volume. So to get the volume, you need to focus and choose an area where we would like to focus. A Tamil Nadu Center of Excellence could be imaging, could be surgical, could be robotics, any of these areas. Instead of spreading too thin, anything in medtech is okay. No, Tamil Nadu as a destination, we would create a global center of excellence for imaging. Then you can go deeper and create the vendor ecosystem. I talked about some of the core technologies developed here. All that could be developed so that we can become a global center of excellence.
Since COVID cases are making a comeback, you're hearing of cases, in some parts of the world. Is there anything on COVID that you are looking at?
No, currently I don't see COVID could definitely become a next big issue, because I think we have crossed that. As immunity and vaccines, I think we have crossed that. It will come and go. I think COVID will remain here. I don't think COVID will go. COVID will remain here like any other flu. It will come in phases of thing, but that is not threatening as it used to be in 2020 or 21.
Probably my last round of questions, I'll begin from that side. I'm just reversing the sequence. Mr. Bala, overall, not just Tamil Nadu, but India, how do you see India placed globally in terms of advanced manufacturing?
See, India, as I said, we started much, much earlier, 25, 30 years back in terms of, at least in medtech manufacturing. But because of the demand, the one thing actually India can do, at least for medtech, I represent medtech, is the demand. Today, the demand is the biggest problem for medtech, because the demand is much, much lower compared to any other, even neighboring countries. That is one area where we can, government can significantly help, because the government GDP spend on healthcare is lower, and majority of the spend, if it happens on healthcare, and specifically medtech, that could really fuel the growth for medtech in terms of raising the demand. Because ultimately demand, because I want to tell you a small instance here. When we started the X-ray manufacturing in India, 2012 digital X-ray, we thought Tamil Nadu, great strength in electronics, great strength in automobile and mechanical. Oh, we can bring the cost significantly lower. We brought the technology from Korea. But when we went to the vendors and looked at how to make those mechanical extrusion and all that, we found there are a lot of vendors who could do excellent quality, and they could even meet our cost. They could even meet our cost. But the next question which I was stumped, or it was a googly, was what is the volume? The moment, in fact, those days the digital X-ray, full room digital X-ray volume was 200 or 300 units a year in India. So I proudly said I will do about 200. Then he was laughing and said, hey, for this cost and quality, I want at least 5,000 a month. So that is one dimension where volume plays a significant role in terms of building your cost down and ensuring good quality. So demand has to grow up, and that is where I think the new model in healthcare could be pay-per-use kind of model, or equipment as a service models, which is where MSMEs will need a lot of support from innovative financing. It need not be the traditional mode of financing, but there should be innovative financing methods to help not just the companies, but also the hospitals in Tier 2, Tier 3 to have equipments which are advanced equipment, and today without investing any capex cost, where we can partner with the industry to create models, where innovative models, which can help moving from a currently in a capex model for the hospitals to an operating model that will help to boost the demand.
Mr. Krishnan, Hyundai has been operating globally across the world, many countries. So what is your experience of India in terms of, advanced manufacturing? How good is India really? And, what needs to be done, to...
No, Hyundai Motor Group, globally we have called a future mobility smart manufacturing system, which is called e-forest, which pursues innovation in manufacturing by connecting organically everything to realize the customer value. Okay. So, and we've got another entity called HMGX, it is Hyundai Motor Group Innovation Center Singapore, This is one of the best smart factories. They are pursuing almost most of the smart advanced manufacturing technologies. So these two entities support us, and in fact we are also working closely with these two entities. And some of the innovations what we have done here are being benchmarked globally to other factories as well. So I would say we have got excellent talent pools. Some of the service providers are giving a very excellent support in terms of providing solutions to our pain points. So I think India as a country, we have got excellent talent pool, a lot of research institutions, and moreover, we have got government support as well. Recently, the C4I4 lab, which is available in Pune, which is pursuing the advanced manufacturing technologies, handholding these. They are bridging the gap between the technology providers and the companies by offering various solutions. And IIT Madras, they got an advanced manufacturing test facility to promote innovation, to boost R&D. So India as a whole has got a very good positive outlooks. We can take up all the best practices here to the global level also. I think we have got very positive trend here. And the point is, when you are trying to implement your advanced manufacturing strategies, the challenge is here how to justify your investment. Okay, that is one. And you need to have a very strong leadership commitment. Okay, the leaders should be properly told and trained what are the benefits of the going for digital. And most of the company, they have legacy systems. How are you going to integrate all these legacy systems to the common platform, right? And how are you going to integrate the entire verticals in a overall platform? So you need a multi-stakeholder approach. If you're able to mitigate all those challenges, probably you can leverage these technological advancements. Thank you.
Mr. Verma, what should India do to up the game in advanced manufacturing?
Tamil Nadu is India's growth engine, and Tamil Nadu, with its thought leadership and technical leadership, will show the way forward. For advanced manufacturing, as mentioning earlier, we need to take the MSMEs on board, start with IR4 in a very, very elementary way, educate them that investments in IR4 and energy transition are just not costs, but they are strategic business decisions. They are imperatives. You want to be part of global supply chain, come on board. Tamil Nadu with the innovative models of partnership with the industry for the ITIs. That's the cutting edge, where we're going to get the shop floor workers, technically sound, competent, aware of the latest trends. With this kind of combinations and the brownfield strength of Tamil Nadu MSMEs and the industrial base, Tamil Nadu is well positioned to take advantage of the industrial corridor. Other corridors are greenfield, but Tamil Nadu industrial corridor is brownfield. We have to just match the engineering capability, engineering prowess of the MSMEs with the requirements of defense forces. Two examples I can say is, for Tamil Nadu, the natural progression from auto to aerospace is happening. Hosur, Chennai are emerging very big hubs. Also, Tamil Nadu got a very huge potential in the armored sector for the armored fighting vehicles. We have the heavy vehicles factory, which makes India's main battle tanks in Audi. We have the DRDO establishment, the combat vehicles research establishment nearby. Plus, we have very technically sound ex-servicemen technical manpower available here. These kind of strengths, which are with Tamil Nadu, I am very upbeat that Tamil Nadu is going to emerge as a destination for high-end manufacturing powered by green energy, and it's going to lead India's charge to be the global manufacturing hub.
Thank you. Mr. Karthikeyan, last words from you, your thoughts on, from a multinational like Nokia, how do you see India placed globally in advanced manufacturing?
I would say India shining is the word. It's true. Let me give an example from my own company. I mean, we started making 5G equipments here in 2020. So the business was awarded to Chennai. Though Nokia has various manufacturing partners across the world. So we do something in electronics called as EMS, Electronic Manufacturing Services. Not everything is done by the same company. If you see, the phones are done by EMS partners. There are big EMS partners who make the phones for various companies, laptops for various companies. The largest phone maker does not do their own manufacturing. So EMS partners are there. Nokia has just 2 factories of their own factories. One is in India and one in Finland. Finland one is more of a research and development where we have R&D collaborated. We are the volume manufacturers, and we have to compete internally with rest of the manufacturers who are in Europe, US, Mexico, Vietnam and all. And I'm proud to say that this talent here and the people here are at par or even better than various other countries, and we can be at the forefront of this resolution. So we, as I said, we got awarded the 5G business in 2020 when the spectrum was not there in India, and last year or this year, when in October 2022 when this 5G was launched, we have to shift the entire 95 to 99% of the manufacturing capability to the India supplies of 5G manufacturing. And we also had to have one more partner. The capacities were not enough. We had to have one more partner to open up. And we collaborated strongly. It's not that we are competing with another EMS manufacturing, though we have to compete them on the cost and other aspects. The team also went and enabled that site to deliver to the Indian customer, telecom customer. So this ecosystem of collaboration, sharing the thoughts, sharing the knowledge is one of the strong points here. So earlier days, at least when I started my career 20 years back, we were very secretive about our capabilities. Like, we're very secretive about our capabilities. We used to, if you do something good, then we'll not share with others. We said, it's a competitive edge. But at least personally for me, the whole scenario changed when I visited Japan in 2006. They were trying to share with the world what is they achieved, and still they are number one. There is a manufacturing program which runs for 2 weeks, and we had around 30 representatives from India. I was one of the youngest ones at that time to go in there. They were ready to share, and what I learned there is sharing will not make you, inferior. Sharing will not make you less competitive. You share and then still achieve. So we have come to that state long back that we are within the country. We are able to share what we have learned with the rest of the industries. As I said, we are open to universities, students to visit our place. We don't hire frequently. As I said, we are a very small strength here, just 150 management staff, and people in Nokia generally don't leave also. So we don't have any hiring done, but we have given internship training to thousands of students in last 5 years. To at least, when they come here, some of them have not taken up their job offers in the industry, and they said, we would like to complete this internship, which is not even paid by us. They said, we would like to learn in a core business, so core industry. So generally, everyone in India runs towards software, which is already one of the world leaders. So if you take about India, that software is already at par. But the students and the academy has also come to a state that they are able to learn what is to be explored new, instead of going with the rat race of getting into a job and doing it. So the students are very smart enough. So we are trying to make entrepreneurs for the world. At least as an industry, we can do that. And many of the industries are doing it, collaborating with academia to get into that domain. So in India, we have the talent pool available. We have the capabilities, we have the capacities, we have almost all the infra related to the manufacturing ecosystem or the research and development. So again, if I have to talk about Nokia, we have the largest strength of people in world, if you take a company in single country. We have 15,000 people here out of 100,000, which is the largest in this. We have an R&D center here, few kilometers away, which is doing research on the fixed network. We have a network operating center, which we maintain the services, the network of the world here. And we have a manufacturing, and we have more than 6,000 people in the Bangalore R&D, which is also working on the 5G research. So it is a place which is leveraging, the developments, leveraging the volume manufacturing, leveraging the supply chain and everything. So it's a place to get invested. We are trying to convince our supplier ecosystems to come here and invest. Government is offering huge incentives, benefits, whether you take central government or you take, state government. Every state is competing with each other. I mean, a few days back, I got a call from the Gujarat government saying that we met you in one of the conferences, would you like to come and invest? So state is competing, it's a healthy competition where the state are competing to, every state representatives are visiting abroad, trying to convince companies to come here and put up. So that initiative is there. And as a country, also doing it. One more thing which I would like to do, a huge amount of digitalization which has happened in the government sector. That has really impressed to the core. So we have, if you take the customs and the import clearances which used to happen then and now, there's a huge difference. There's the way this whole transaction of, the e-way bills to be generated. So from the logistics and materials management domain, I can say everything is simplified. And government is approaching industries, say, what are your problems? Tell us, what could you help us? I mean, what help you need to enhance the ecosystem, enhance the manufacturing, bring in more investment and all those things. So I feel this is, we are at a trajectory which is growing towards a next growth story. And I wish success for all of us here. To be India, one of the greatest manufacturers, and the way one of our neighboring countries spoken about, dominated for almost 2 decades. I hope the next couple of decades we'll be in that position to be a world leader. Thank you.
Very interesting journey that you've captured and the next growth story of India. We have almost run out of time. Can we take a question from the audience? Anybody has a question from the panelists? Yes, yes. Can the gentleman have a mic, please?
Good morning to all. This is Dr. Raghutman from Rajalakshmi Engineering College. When we say that India is the hub for manufacturing almost all, when we are going to lead the semiconductor industry, sir, I think comparing to the global market, we are far behind in manufacturing semiconductors. Only Gujarat has started leading it. And when we are going to have the flag of semiconductors, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, who would like to take the question?
Okay, so electronic manufacturing, like MedTech, sir mentioned about 60% is imported. In electronics, at least for the 5G equipments, 80% is imported. So your question is very valid, sir. You say when we are going to have semiconductor manufacturing. So one is to attract investment, and not only industries, but even government is trying hard, almost incentivize the next 5 years of cost-free production here. But semiconductor industry, by design, is a very high intense capex driven industry, which needs a lot of infrastructure support, huge money to be put up by companies. So the established players, the large players, I mean some of our suppliers, many of our suppliers are much bigger than what we are. We have tried to talk to them, we have tried to convince them, would you like to start, some phase. There are thoughts, but as I said, we have come to a certain extent in PCB manufacturing, which was also lagging for a long time, but then still not up to the mark for the global requirement. We go up to 18 layers of a PCB, and then we are talking about capabilities of only 4 to 6 layers. I mean, 90% of our products in at least the 5G equipment manufacturing are beyond 8 layers. So that we have reached somewhere. And semiconductor, I still see there's a long way to start. But large companies, Indian manufacturers, they are trying to start the basic of testing and packaging is what something we can start in a phased manner, and then get into the wafer and the back-end manufacturing. If you take automotive some time back, we used to famously call the CKDs and SKDs in the past, at least when I started in 2001 from Mahindra and Mahindra. Those were the phases when we were doing it. We started getting into NPIs. We used to have only the second phased rollout of vehicles from here. We used to have the only second phase rollout of even in our equipment manufacturing 4G and 5G. We used to be the second side. But we have come to the state where it is now the first manufacturing set. The new products are launched from here to the rest of the world. So semiconductor is still a long way to go. I will not say that we are there. We have a long way to go, but then somewhere we have to start with the back-end testing and packaging and then get into the developing the ecosystem to make it more. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. One last quick question. We've completely run out of time.
Yes, please. My question is to Mr. Bala. You have mentioned that no, there is an investment on healthcare from the government is very low. That is what the data, Human Development Index also said that India's rank out of that 183 participated country, India stands 132. What could be the effective action to take over this investment on government? Because of the human capital investment also very low in India, continuously paused, if you see that 10 year of data, right? What is the effective way to overcome this issue in quick?
You're talking about healthcare infrastructure spend?
Yeah. Both.
Yeah, I think one is also the demand. While the in terms of GDP, I think it's about 3.5 to 4% is what we invest in healthcare, out of which government invests about 1.5. Mostly it is private-driven healthcare. But the government also had a plan, I think, to increase it to about 3%. And the private, on its growth, we expect it to reach to 6. Most of the global countries, I would not say, like for instance, US, healthcare is one area where everybody, even somebody like go to US, 18% of GDP is invested in healthcare. If you ask them, are they happy? The patients are not happy there also. So it's not about only increase, but definitely we have a potential to increase it to 6 to 7%. I think that is the maximum sweet spot. Probably that will happen over the period of time. But what will actually trigger that growth would be the only country, probably one of the few countries in the world where the patient and the payer are the same. Okay, so why the healthcare cost is much lower is because the payer is the patient. In most other countries, the payer and the patient are different. I go to the hospital, somebody else pays for me. Here, majority of the patients pays for their care. That is why there is a huge opportunity also for us, which is what probably this national insurance cover to about 50 crore people will definitely trigger this demand over the next 4 or 5 years, which is what our hope also. When I talked about 10 billion to go up to 50 billion, it is both in terms of investment from the government and the private demand going up when the consumer somebody else pays for the care. So there'll be more people going to the hospitals and diagnostic services.
Thank you, Mr. Bala. And we have to conclude this very, very engaging discussion on advanced manufacturing. Thank you all very much for giving us time. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. It's heartening to see when good corporate leadership and good governance, when they come together, what miracles can happen. May I request now Ms. Sangeeta Keora and Rajiv Sharma to present a token of appreciation to the panelists, please.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Honorable Minister is already here, so give us a couple of minutes before we begin. Thank you.
Come in the front.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, Honorable Minister is already here. He'll just take 5-7 minutes before we begin his session.
Her way to the corner office. Business Standard. He's making his investments talk. Business Standard. She has ambitions of becoming a brand. Business Standard.
Shri B. Ramakrishnan, popularly known as BRK in financial circles, is a financial pioneer with over 3 decades of experience across diverse industries such as NBFC, pharmaceuticals, automobile education, and various other industries handling financial products like debts, equity, M&A, and more. Post his management qualification, he joined HC Kothari Group of Companies as executive and went on to become the head of finance function in a span of about a decade. He belonged to the team that floated the first private sector mutual fund in the country. He quit the group in 1997 to 98 and started Corporate Clinic in Chennai. He also represented Morgan & Stanley's private equity fund in India. He started BRK Academy to impart financial knowledge to freshers and working professionals through its first of its kind finance lab in the world. Earlier, the Academy was a learning partner for ACCA London, and the Academy had also conducted programs for entrepreneurs in partnership with MSME Government of India. BRK Soft collaborates with NSDC Government of India for fund sourcing techniques and financial analyst programs catering to freshers, working professionals and technocrats.
BRK is the director of COMESA region of African continent as endorsed by the Ministry of External Affairs and also the senior vice chairman of Divyang Cricket Control Board of India. BRK had a privilege of giving the first bouquet to the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, and also has the privilege of our late Chief Minister, Ms. J. Jayalalitha, featuring him in the headlines of the newspaper, Dr. Namada MGR, featuring his contribution to GIM during September 2015. A renowned speaker, BRK has addressed government institutions, financial organizations and educational institutions. His accolades include articles on...
The Honorable Minister Dr. TRB Raja is here. Can I request everyone to please give a huge round of applause to the Honorable Minister. So, humble request once again, please keep your mobiles on a silent mode. Thank you. So, may I now invite Mr. Shailesh Dobal, Editor Business Standard, to welcome Honorable Minister Dr. TRB Raja, Minister for Industries, Investment Promotion and Commerce, Government of Tamil Nadu.
Good morning, everybody, or is it good afternoon? No, good morning still. On behalf of Business Standard, let me extend a very warm welcome to Dr. TRB Raja, Minister of Industries, Investment Promotion and Commerce, Government of Tamil Nadu, to the Business Standard Tamil Nadu Roundtable 2023. We are indeed grateful to you, Dr. Raja, for agreeing to be here with us today, despite your super busy schedule, and agreeing to join a fireside chat with my colleague, Mr. A.K. Bhattacharya, on Tamil Nadu, India's rising industrial power. Tamil Nadu's growth in its gross domestic product for 2022-23 was 8.2%, higher than India's annual economic growth of 7.2%. Consistently ranked among the top 3 economically most advanced states in India, Tamil Nadu stands out as an industrial powerhouse. The share of industry in Tamil Nadu's economy is over 34%, and the sector is growing in double digits. What appears to be driving its industrial enterprise is its Chief Minister, Mr. M.K. Stalin's ambitious target of making the state a $1 trillion economy by 2030, which is almost trebling the size of its economy from the current level of over $300 billion. His government is also looking at promoting the research and development ecosystem in the state to make it the knowledge capital of South Asia and pretty much the whole world. Emerging industry segments like electric vehicles and new energy are getting focused attention from the state government. But of course, there are challenges, and what are those challenges that the Tamil Nadu faces in achieving these ambitious targets, and what are the prospects? May I now invite the Honorable Minister and Business Standards Editorial Director, Mr. Bhattacharya, to take up the stage, please. Where is it? Thank you. Request Mr. Bhattacharya to felicitate the Minister, please. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Request Mr. Bhattacharya to begin the fireside chat with the Minister. Over to you, AKB. Thank you.
Thank you, Shailesh. Thank you, Dr. Raja, for agreeing to come to this session. It's been quite a roller coaster ride for us. The last time you wanted to hold this session, Dr. Raja, you know, Cyclone Michong came and played havoc with our plans. So we are actually doubly grateful to you that you gave us time right in the same month when it was supposed to be held. And you are here. And what a refreshing experience I have had so far meeting with you. And as I said, that you are hardly like a minister. So let me start with that. And you know, as somebody who has mostly lived in Delhi, a little bit in Bombay, a little bit in Calcutta, we keep hearing from Delhi this idea of the Dravidian model of industrial development. You know, this audience probably needs, you know, a short class on what is this Dravidian model of industrial development that you talk about. How does it make a difference? How can it be inclusive, or is it only addressing a certain section of interest? So give us a brief sort of class on Dravidian model.
Good morning, one and all, and thanks to Bhattacharya, Urgal, and to the entire team at Business Standards for doing this in Chennai today. And I do know that pulling off an event of this scale with a rescheduled time of just a week's notice is quite a task, and I'm glad that you pulled it off. And I would have given another date if it was rescheduled again also, because we really wanted to come over, and of course with you here it makes it extra special, and talk about what Tamil Nadu has done differently. I don't know if I'm professor enough to take a class on Dravidian model, but I can tell you, I think things are very clear to see when you just step into Tamil Nadu and you see the growth in every sector, in every corner of Tamil Nadu. I think the basis of Dravidian model begins with education, right? Everything starts with education. You give them the right to question, and what sort of questions to ask is what you give the people first. And once that's given to the people, I think they start asking the right questions, and they start asking for the right rights from the elected representatives, and that's when the state grows in a holistic way. And that's why you see, when you look at other states and you look at Tamil Nadu, you see today Tamil Nadu is the most urbanized state in India. And why? Because we've taken growth to every nook and corner of Tamil Nadu. The Dravidian model is all about inclusivity, it's about diversity, it's about equitable growth, it's about basically distributed growth. We would like to increase that distribution now. We've done a very good job compared to other states, but I keep saying this everywhere I go. Our targets, our competition is not the other states in India. We peg ourselves with grown countries, like the Scandinavian countries, for all our markers, our indices. If you look at our GER, I think even China is at around 59 something, and we were pre-COVID around 50. But India is at 27, and some of the states are at 13. So this shows that we've been pegging ourselves with other countries, and our state itself is called Tamil Nadu, or the Tamil country. I'm not trying to be a separatist here. We are very, very clear. We're very, very clear that the growth of India is crucial for the growth of Tamil Nadu. We only pray that everyone that needs to recognize that fact needs to recognize that. I'm just saying everyone, I'm not saying who, but everyone needs to recognize the fact that Tamil Nadu has its own inherent strength, and so does each and every state. Right? Every other state has its own inherent strength. Play to those strengths and make sure that enable these states to grow on their own. Give them state autonomy, which we've been asking for the longest time, and let them do what they're doing best. Just let them do what they're doing best. And we very, very clearly believe that as a country, this country needs to be even more strongly united, even more federalistic in nature, and instead of just two engines moving the entire country. I would rather see every state being an engine and the center powering it from up top. And they should also, as I said, look at the inherent strength of each state and play to their strengths and let them do their own thing, as long as they're doing it in the best way possible. So the Dravidian model of growth is all about equity, diversity and inclusivity and distributed growth. And that's why Tamil Nadu is different.
Thank you, Mr. Minister. You talked about diversity, you talked about equity, you talked about inclusion. You also referred briefly about this double engine thing. What did you really mean by that?
I didn't say double engine, I just said engines of growth.
Engines
but
of
if you want to put it that way, yeah.
I mean,
yeah, see, the relationship between the center and state, it does have an effect on growth, right? We are different.
Yeah.
We are better. And we want to be very clear about that. We know we are better and we're saying we're better because we've done things better. And we only expect everyone to look at us differently, in a better way, and look at our strengths and enable us in whatever way is possible.
In your assessment, Mr. Minister, what role does a stable society play for sustainable growth of industry? I mean, because you did talk about diversity, equity. Do you also sort of pay adequate attention to making society being stable for ensuring that the fruits of industrialization reaches all sections of society? Would you like to spend some time on that?
Yeah, see, the Dravidian model has always been very clear about that, and that's why when you look at women workforce participation, 43% of all the women working in India are from Tamil Nadu, which is something which is unmatchable by any other state. It'll take time because it's taken decades for us to reach this place. Initially, our women were also sitting at home. They were also idle. But then we gave them what others would call freebies. But these are enablers of economic growth. And that's what the Dravidian model identifies. And we gave them that. We brought them out of the home. We gave them work. And now look at them, they're competing with any other, you look at any other developed country in the world. I think we even beat several developed countries in the world with our DI indices. And I think that is our biggest strength. So when you look at Tamil Nadu and its way it's grown over the years, certain practices have been very clear towards inclusivity and inclusion of all people, irrespective of caste, religion especially. We've never brought in religion into politics, only off late some of that is happening here. But we've kept that out and we've made sure that everybody gets everything. And you look at our industries, you will see distributed growth between religion also. I'm not saying this, it's very equal in we don't go into details, but then what you do see here, you will not see anywhere else in the country. And I think that is definitely enabled the society as such to grow. And a very diverse, like-minded society is very, very crucial for industrial growth. And that's what you see in Tamil Nadu.
That's very reassuring, Mr. Minister. I just wanted to sort of finish this first part of our discussion on the basics of Tamil Nadu's industrial growth policy with this last question. And what do you think if you were to, in an exam hall, if you are asked, list 3 major attributes that has made Tamil Nadu an industrial powerhouse, what would those 3 qualities, attributes would be?
First would be, as I said, talent pool, right? So we are the talent powerhouse of India. As I said, our basis was on education, taking education to everybody. That gave us lots of talent. We roll out about 150,000 engineers, 200,000, close to 200,000 engineers every year. Not many states can do that. So when you get so much of talent and the industrial ecosystem automatically grows. And then now we are also tailoring that talent to industry. So industry gets talent which also enables them to be more productive. So that way, the Dravidian model keeps tweaking itself to the needs of the industry. So A is the talent pool that we have always got.
So talent pool is number one.
Talent pool is number one. And then the infrastructure, right? And then the infrastructure. And the infrastructure that we've focused on, like say your SIPCOTs, where every industry is given single window system, single window clearance, and we enable them to, and guidance, one of the oldest investment promotion agency in India. If you walk into guidance, it won't look like any other Sarkari office. You should try going into guidance sometime. It's filled with some young, vibrant techies who can just talk facts, talk numbers, give you numbers, enabling your industry to grow, tell you why you should choose this area and why you should choose students from this college, this stream. And they have facts and figures that will enable that industry which is trying to come and invest into Tamil Nadu. And that, I think, in itself is huge. And that is also part of the infrastructure that the government of Tamil Nadu is giving to those who are trying to come into Tamil Nadu to invest. Everybody who's coming into India nowadays is first coming and knocking at the doors of Tamil Nadu. And this is why, because it's easier for them to do business in Tamil Nadu. Huh? The union keeps tweaking the EODB criteria, but whatever way you tweak it, we are always there. They just can't get rid of us from there.
Number three?
We're there because we're doing it the best. Nobody else does better than us. And so if you look at it, that is one. So infrastructure and the enabling ecosystem for the industry, that's two. And finally, that's talent pool, infrastructure. And then if you want to add one more to that, I think, of course, it's the Dravidian model ecosystem that we've built in, which is also enabling. And the core of that, I think, is policy continuity. Policy continuity over the years. Whatever regime change that we've seen in Tamil Nadu, we've stuck to the policy and we make sure that the industry gets its incentives come what may. Every regime that's come in Tamil Nadu has only tried to do better, one better with the industry. So that way, I think policy continuity, I think, is something which is very, very unique to Tamil Nadu. And that investors see as a big, big plus in Tamil Nadu.
So talent pool, infrastructure, and bipartisan support on industrial growth policies. That in brief would say the thing. There is one issue which, once again, and I know I hate talking in that language.
I just want to add one thing.
Sure.
When you say Dravidian model, most of them think of attributing that to the present DMK regime. It basically started with Anna and way before that, from the Justice Party. But then, when Anna came and set this tone, right, and Kalaignar took the baton and built Tamil Nadu for over 50 years, he built it even while in the opposition, right? So we were course-correcting even in the opposition. The opposition is extremely, extremely crucial for governance, for democracy. Even though Delhi doesn't believe that, we would want everybody to develop on that thought. Think about how important opposition is. A very effective, a strong opposition is extremely key for democracy, and I think it doesn't matter how many numbers you have in the assembly also. What you do outside matters. How you speak via the media matters, and how you do opposing politics matters. And I think Kalaignar, even when he was in power or off power, he still kept driving the governance in Tamil Nadu, and that's why every single day you open the newspaper, if he's in power or not, you'll still see Kalaignar's news coming. And I think those in power then also had to regulate themselves according to his guidelines. Yeah.
And that's a very important clarification that you made, and that Dravidian model is only a preserve of a political party, but it enjoys support from.
It's more become more a way of life nowadays. So I think Tamil Nadu will definitely forever be known by its development model of governance.
There is one, not concern, but people talk about it, is that Tamil Nadu is a manufacturing powerhouse, but it is beginning to plan and mount an offensive to make a transition to a knowledge economy. This is bound to be full of challenges. How do you think Tamil Nadu is planning to make that transition? At what stage is this transition? And what needs to be done to complete that transition?
We're not mounting any offensive, but
Sure.
I must say, as I said, we want everybody to grow together. If some other state is stronger in some other subject, we would definitely want to go learn and bring that also into Tamil Nadu. As you said, manufacturing powerhouse. Yes, we are 40,000 factories and counting. No other state comes anywhere close. The closest competition is somewhere around 28,000, I think. That said, manufacturing and advanced manufacturing is something which we are really, really good at. And going into the next gen of manufacturing, Industry 4.0, and looking at the advanced manufacturing sectors coming in, what we need going forward is talent pool again. So we'll need to up our game when it comes to tweaking our talent pool. So for that, and what we really want to go is when you have advanced talent, they would rather have research also in the pool, right? So most of the brain drain happens because most of these young minds are going out of the country into the US, Japan, Germany, or elsewhere. So we would want to bring in R&D facilities here, make sure that they get the best of labs, they get the best of testing facilities right here at home, to enable them to just retain themselves here in Tamil Nadu and do that R&D here. And if you look at last year's, I mean the previous year's numbers, Tamil Nadu continues to register the highest number of patents in India. So the research is already happening here, and as industry grows, the MSME sector throws out the highest number of innovation anywhere in the world. If you look deep, it doesn't happen at the major industries level. It happens right there in the MSME sector. And that's why the Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu has once again given emphasis on improving facilities for the MSME sector. We've started, Startup TN is again doing a wonderful job in enabling that core area. And now going towards the knowledge economy, making it the R&D hub is key. And I think we're making really big strides. We're coming up with a knowledge city very close to Chennai. We would like to have all the top universities in the world come and have their offices here, right here in Chennai. This, I think, is going to be a very, very big step. Probably by the end of next year, you're going to see some really big numbers, really big names coming into Chennai via the knowledge city.
What about health? Because a lot of people say that education, health, and water. Yeah. These are the three pillars of making a knowledge economy truly.
Health, you mean?
Health.
Yeah. So I just want to add, we already have the IITs and Anna universities already present, but people don't know about the Kumaragurus and the Bannari Ammans in Coimbatore and the Tyagarajas and down south. So we have institutions beyond IIT, and these are regularly churning out really good talent. So these are names that you're not seeing yet, but I really want to push that out also. Tamil Nadu has always been a very, very shy state, and we would really like to, as I was telling you, we would really want us to be seen more in real light and the way that we are doing things differently. So that is what we're doing with the education. Health, we already leaders, and health tourism is something which is amazing, which we've already led for the longest time. You have people from around the world coming into Chennai. We have the proton accelerator that we have. I think there's one cancer equipment that there's only one in the entire country. Apollo has it, I think. So these are all things which we've already led in, and we continue to lead. If you look at health, the number of doctors that we have, The numbers are staggering again. But then I don't know why the union wants to tweak needs and other enablers which have made us come to this level right now. Okay. So NEET is something which is trying to put a speed breaker on that, and we will continue to fight and make sure that that speed breaker disappears.
Two related questions. Do you face any kind of competition from other states in this transition into a knowledge economy? And what kind of challenges do you face? And do you think that industry, I mean, there's a lot of industry leaders are here, so maybe you can say what kind of expectations do you have from industry and what kind of challenges do you face which you need to overcome?
I don't see any challenges from other states. If at all there is a challenge, it's from within. I don't think that there is anything from outside the state. And the industry's involvement in education is something which I personally think is very, very key for education to hit its peak, right? Unless you coordinate with the industry, unless the syllabi is coordinated with the industry, unless the talent it gets to go and train itself and in industry, this education system is not going to break out of the shackles right now. So I really would love to see the entire industry, big guns come in and partner with this knowledge city. And I think something of that kind is definitely going to be announced very soon.
Why I said competition from other states, because my next question, as you would have already anticipated, is that what kind of support or help or assistance would you require from the center in making that transition a little faster? The simple reason why I'm raising this issue is because it is a federal country and there are many policies that the center frames which impinges on all the states and which impinges on you as well. So what kind of policy support or policy fixes would you expect from the center if Tamil Nadu's dream, ambition to be a full-fledged knowledge economy, making that
It's very simple,
possible?
just make education a state subject, that's it. That's all we want, nothing
Make
else.
education a state subject.
And my friends here will, all of them will agree. As I said, it comes back to my first line. Just let us do what we are doing best. If Bihar is at 13 and we are at 50 and you are at 27, why would you want to equate us to the 13? And you are only at 27, why would you want to teach us what to do when we are at 50? Right? So we do, and I'll tell you personally, myself and Tangam Tannasana, we were in the opposition and we went to one of these Niti Ayog things. And I can't quote what they said there, but it was unbelievable. It was, for us, it was unbelievable that the Niti Ayog was talking about things that we and Kerala had done at least 3 decades back, And they were talking about that in a way, in a very celebratory manner. So all myself and Thangamana looked at each other, and and both of us turned, and Kerala was looking at us. It was like, and Kerala was looking at us. So that's what it is. So let us just do our thing because we know better. If you want, we gladly teach you. If you want to tweak NEP, come to us. We'll tell you what NEP needs to be, and we'll tell you how we did this better. How we did this. Learn from us and do it, and take it to all over India. We want India to grow, and we don't want to be alone in that growth.
So education. Any other sectors where you think you need greater leeway or flexibility in framing your policies?
As I said, policy, we don't need PLI, and see, we are number 1 in electronics already. And we are pushing, we were 5.37 last year, and now we're pushing for 5 already in the 6 months, and I'll probably hit about 8 billion in the near future, right? In this year, definitely, for sure. That said, see, what we need is not just the PLI, we need better, because the PLI is for those states which are, I keep telling this, we are not a very desperate state. Tamil Nadu is not a desperate state. We get to choose our investment. Yes, we will choose our investor, and we will make sure that the incentives that we give, which is from the hard-earned money of our taxpayers, even though most of it is given to other states, whatever little the union gives back, that included, and our own state's own revenue is spent on this. So when we do that on the incentive, so we will be very choosy about who gets to invest and what kind of jobs that creates for which area, right? We need to know if it's going to be in Chennai, around Chennai, then we'll probably ask them to, we'll probably bring in R&D, we'll probably bring in high-end GCCs in. If it's around down south, we'll probably bring in more of manufacturing, right? So we know what we need. And the center just needs to just listen to us, and it needs to be a dialogue. There needs to be dialogue. Even yesterday, some of our MPs in the parliament had said, before rolling out policy, before rolling out any new act, also just discuss with the states. This is a federal country. Make it sound like one, and it's not about just the union and another state, or the union and its own pet state, if you want to say that. What it needs to be is about the state, the union, and other states. It needs to be about a state and another state. Why not another state? Why should I always go through the union? Why can't I just do my own thing with the Kerala? Why can't I do my own thing with Karnataka? I can do my own thing with Gujarat if they want to, right? We'll teach them how our talent built. Let them, I can't do, see, I'll tell you.
So what stops you right now?
What stops you? You know, everybody knows what's stopping us. It's everybody. It's so not decentralized, right? Everything needs to go to the union. Everything goes via the union, and the union in the given state, it is right now. I'll just keep it very. No, I'll just say it's not in the best interest of the country right now, because of the way I do see there's a lot of bias. Every other states also are saying it, but I must say we are open, and we are very clear that every state needs to grow for the nation to grow, and for Tamil Nadu to grow.
That's the point.
So very, very clear about it. As I said, if my strength is electronics, let me do that. If your strength is refineries, do that. I can't bring in the kind of refineries that Gujarat can do in its arid area. I don't have that kind of land here. I really can't do that. I wouldn't want to do so many refineries here. I can't do 25,000 hectares or 1 lakh hectares of solar farms, right? Right? I'll do probably 5,000, 6,000, probably, that's it. I can't do more than that, because getting such contiguous land in Tamil Nadu is different. It's not possible. So bring that, take that there, give us the electronics, give us, enable us to do more in EV. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
You know, I know you are the industry minister, but then, you know, you also critically impacted by the kind of fiscal transfers take place. Right now, terms of references of 16th Finance Commission are being framed. Is there any specific point that you would like to be addressed in the way the 16th Finance Commission is set up and entrusted with the responsibility of what it needs to do with regard to a more equitable growth agenda of Dravidian model?
No, I would just stick to my department. I wouldn't want to step into the finance minister's shoes right now, even though he's my predecessor. He doesn't mind also. He wouldn't mind also, but I will just leave that to him. But the industry side, just the industry side, and I think financing needs to be a bit decentralized also. I think microfinancing also needs a big push, especially for the MSMEs. MSMEs, we are also doing something in a big way for the MSME now. Only if the MSME ecosystem grows will the local economy grow, and only then the state can grow in an overall, there will be overall growth to the state, and that is what the Dravidian model of governance wants. As far as what the union is doing and what it is looking at doing, it might sound from outside that we always have a different view with the union, which is true. Because we are different. I'm just saying, just recognize this state as a different state. It doesn't have the same numbers. It doesn't have the same numbers as any other state in India. So we look at us differently. Look at Kerala differently. Look at what Karnataka is doing differently. Look at what Maharashtra is doing differently. Only then. I can't do the kind of see Kerala, the kind of tourism that Kerala does. Even though the biggest footfall is here in Tamil Nadu, the biggest domestic footfall and the international footfall for tourism is in Tamil Nadu. But still Kerala does beautifully well in tourism. Bengaluru, it caught up with us and then went slightly ahead of us during the 10 years, the past 10 years, and we're trying to catch up now. But that ecosystem is saturated. You know the traffic in Bengaluru. Let us enable Hosur. Give us the Hosur airport. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and look at what Maharashtra in Punjab does. The scale of agriculture in Punjab. That's right. That's going to be hard to match for us. Right? So give them what they want. Give us what we want. Yeah.
On the question of on goods and services tax, which directly impacts industry in the state, there was this fear in 2017 when it was launched that since Tamil Nadu is a producing state by and large, it might just lose out on GST tax transfers. But as we have seen in the last 5-6 years, Tamil Nadu actually has not lost out in terms of its GST collections. Now, that's in the overall number. Now, you may provide us a different perspective. I would like you to provide that perspective if it is different. And what are the changes that the Tamil Nadu industry would like in the GST structure? If you can just briefly talk about it.
GST rollout is a mess, and we all have to look at it in a different way. There needs to be a rethink, and be very clear about it. And post, it's not like we've not lost out. We've lost out heavily. The thousands of crores that's been lost out, which needs to come into Tamil Nadu, has been lost out. And there are specific requests from various industry in Tamil Nadu. That's for the GST Council. I think it's not for an open audience. That's for a discussion within the industry. But yes, there have been several requests from the industry, and which we have already kept in place to the GST Council via our ministers, but it's still not been heeded to. We would definitely want to have a bigger share, and we would definitely look at tax autonomy. What we'll need to look at is a different GST. If you ask me, let's do that all over again.
Fantastic. Yeah. We have 10 more minutes now, and I was wondering, would you agree to take a couple of questions from the floor? Yeah. Sure. So if there are any questions from the floor, please feel free, but please do identify yourself and ask a question. It will be, yeah, please.
Good morning, Honorable Minister, sir. This is Dr. Raghotman from Radharakshmi Engineering College. We are circumnavigating and branding ourselves as hub of manufacturing cars, electronic goods, hosiery and textiles. When are you going to brand ourselves in a major industry like aerospace, shipbuilding and robotics? I expect the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu will bring such industry during the global summit. What is your opinion, sir?
Yeah. Good one, sir. Thanks. And as I said, we are
one thing, sir, this L&T started their shipbuilding yard at near Gumadipundi. So I expect few more to join in this stream. That's what my expectation, because I am from Tamil Nadu. I want major industries to be in Tamil Nadu, giving more job opportunities.
Yes, as you rightly said, we are number one in automobile, EV, textiles, all the regular sectors, and a lot of other sectors too. What I would also probably very personally want to look at is the A&D sector. Only Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, only two A&D corridors have been announced. I don't think both have taken up in a big way. In fact, 2 weeks back, I went to the Defense Sect and I met him. I did want to meet the RM also, the Defense Minister also, but I still haven't gotten a chance to meet him. But I think we will definitely push it. The Honorable Chief Minister is very clear on developing the A&D ecosystem in Tamil Nadu. The entire stretch to Coimbatore is something very special, and I think it's already ripe, and the time is right for the A&D sector to boom. We already have the Kulsegarapatnam cluster growing. We have several interests from a lot of other new industries that are coming in. And yes, we would definitely want to brand ourselves as the A&D hub of India also. You do know that Tamil Nadu is the only state with a drone corporation and a drone testing facility for private drone testing facilities also starting very soon. And beyond that, there's a lot of missile tech testing going on. IIT Research Park is doing a lot of work on robotics, and if you look at missile tech also. When it comes to robotics, yes, the Chief Minister is very keen himself, and you do know that the IIT Madras has also tied up with the school education department in enabling the robotics ecosystem. Several thousand schools in Tamil Nadu are using kits from IIT Madras to learn robotics right now.
Thank you. Any other question? Please go ahead.
As of my knowledge, by the name of language, only one train running in Tamil Nadu.
Can you please identify yourself first, sir?
Yeah, myself, Dr. P. Paramasam from Assistant Professor in Economics.
Yeah.
As of my knowledge, out of India as well as in Tamil Nadu, only one train run between Coimbatore to Mannagudi. So in this aspect, really you are the Tamil minister. So my kind request to the business standards as well as the minister that there is a lacuna between the discussing in the economy of the state as well as country in the language of Tamil. So if you initiate in this discuss about the Tamil Nadu economy as well as Indian economy in the language of Tamil, it will be helpful for the Tamil students as well as the Tamil in the by Dravidial model. Thank you.
Of course. I mean, as I said, I mean, it's good that he was, the Dravidian model enabled him to ask that question in English first.
That's right.
So, yeah, so we're absolutely fine. Yeah. We're fine with Hindi also, for that matter. We're absolutely fine with that. Yeah. So as long as you don't thrust it on us. So that's the only thing. Yes, so the discussion, you'll see something like this happening during the Global Investors Meet on the 7th and 8th of January. We're trying to have all these discussions, and 1 or 2 sessions which would probably be Tamil Nadu centric. We'll probably have that in Tamil. In the Prachaniyal, definitely we'll try and do that.
One last question.
No, I'm okay with questions if you have time.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody, and it's indeed a pleasure to have a very refreshing, dynamic Minister of Industries here. And thanks to Business Standard for this opportunity given to us to straight away interact. So I actually belong to a business school. I'm director of School of Management in one of the Madras University affiliated college, and it was really encouraging to listen to you on setting up of, talking about knowledge economies and other universities coming in. Now we have many Anna University and Madras University affiliated colleges, and my main concern in my 30 years here in Tamil Nadu teaching business students is we don't have the live case studies of industries in India and in Tamil Nadu. So when you're building this, in terms of knowledge universities and having industries interact with academia, it would be great, if we have the live case studies or use case studies which we can use to teach students, and probably if it is transparently available to all, I think it would reach out as case studies of Tamil Nadu-based industry. As you said, it's very encouraging since we have 47 plus industries. I'm sure some of the success stories could be talked in classroom, which is going to be, helpful for this. You're coming in with a lot of schemes like Nan Mudalman. So I would like to know whether it's in the pipeline, and if not, to initiate this. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So the State Planning Commission has some amazing academicians here, and it has this inherent strength to talk to people like Suresh Samandam, who's also here, and get to him. And Suresh here does this sector-wise. He's done this district-wise study on which district can do what, right? So, and this was given to the State Planning Commission. This is being studied by the State Planning Commission. The Vice Chairman, Dr. Jayaranjan there, and his team is already, and esteemed academicians there. So they're all looking at business studies based on the way the Tamil Nadu, the Dravidian model has enabled Tamil Nadu growth, and the way industries have grown in specific areas, and also with the talent pool that is available in that area. So this connect between the talent pool availability and the industrial growth in particular areas is something which you're also keenly studying. And each case study of each of these industries, growth of each of the industries is definitely something which you must teach to our students. You can definitely take it up with the State Planning Commission. Professor Srinivasan and Professor Jayaranjan there will definitely be able to help you. I do think there's a lot of case study available online also. I think the MIDS also does a lot on that. So yeah, there's definitely a possibility and we should look at it. Yeah.
Oh, that's very encouraging. The Minister has given me courage to ask for one more question.
Very good afternoon, Honorable Minister, and I'm Dr. Sundar from Dean SRM. So I'd like to know the performance metrics of GIM 2023. So whether it is achieved the target of generating revenue or generating of employment opportunity, because each and every year we used to know in the media and the newspaper. So this is a target we fixed to attract the revenue. But finally we achieved or not, we don't know. Again, we are moving to the 2024. So whether it generated its expected employment, especially for Tamil Nadu or Chennai.
Yeah, it's a good one. Actually, every time there's a global industries meet happens in any state, there's a rat race to, give out and shell out a number. They say there's so many lakhs of crores. And some states, I don't want to name them, they've come out with numbers like 30 lakh crores and stuff. Yeah, so which is, which is just staggering and unbelievable. But what, as Sir rightly asked, what matters is the conversion rate, right? What kind of investments have come and what sort of promised jobs have been delivered. Over the years, that's not been very great. That's not been great. What we've seen over the past two GIMs has not been really great. We've hit around 20-25% is what the success rate has been. That's because some of the biggest investments have just fizzled out. Some of the biggest companies, especially in the energy sector, they brought in companies which basically died, right? So I don't want to be very nice to them. I don't want to make this political. So that is why we lost out on achieving that number. But this GIM is not going to be about numbers. I've been telling all my team about this. The industries department is very keen on that. This Global Investors Meet 24 will not be about just the investment numbers. And this will not be about showcasing telling the world that, see, look at Tamil Nadu, we've brought in so many lakhs of crores of investment. This is not going to be about that. This is about a celebration of knowledge. It is going to be a celebration of talent, of letting the talent talk to the knowledge heads, letting the talent talk to the industrial heads, look at what kind of people we're getting and the kind of interaction that you're going to have are going to be really, really special. It's going to be only about 200, 300 people per session and listening into some of the brilliant minds in India and from all over the world. And this is going to be very, very special. And I'll also tell you, whatever investments come, I'm looking at a hit rate of around, personally, I would love to see a hit rate of around 80-85%. If I reach that, that'll be amazing. Because you do know that some of the companies, their financial closing and all that is something which happens over a period of time. So that is, the 15 to 20% of drop rate is okay. But anything beyond that, I think even anything close to 75% is good, is what I've told my team. And that kind of a hit rate is something which you'll really see. Of late, the conversion in Tamil Nadu, you've seen, we went and signed an MOU in Japan in June, and within 2 months of that, the medtech company Omron started its groundbreaking, right? So from MOU to groundbreaking, it was 2 months, and look at what we did with the Crocs manufacturing, the footwear manufacturing. They broke ground, they signed an MOU. broke ground, and started production within 365 days. Within 365 days. That doesn't happen elsewhere in the country. That is the kind of speed in which we are going. And every time we sign an MOU, we very, very clear about, we're very keen to know the capability of that company and the enabling infrastructure if it's available, because that's only then will this company shine. So we look at all these other numbers before we bring in any investor. As I said, we're not a desperate state, so we're being very selective about our investors, and there is limited land also available. So we're very, very selective about our investors, and we make sure that they bring in jobs which are useful for our talent, right? So because our youth need a different level of higher end jobs. So we are very keen to bring in jobs which are needed, which are suitable to the talent that is available. So that is how the tailoring is happening. So this gym will be about celebration of knowledge, enabling the talent to connect, and making sure that we bring in good amount of investment. I won't give you the number, but there's definitely going to be a good number. But beyond the number, it's going to be about the kind of jobs that are going to be generated and the efficiency at which these jobs are utilized by our own youth here who are born, brought up here in Tamil Nadu. Yeah.
I think that's a very, very clear message.
Wow. Okay. The toughest question for the last one.
That's but you know, we have crossed our time. So one more question, please. Yeah, go ahead.
So, Minister knows me well. My name is Suresh Sambandam.
Yeah.
For the audience. When GST came, I wrote an article in one of the leading English magazines how it's going to be detrimental to the state autonomy especially. And you hinted during the session about alternative models of tax autonomy. Can you elaborate a little bit about that? Because that's very crucial towards the federal structure. And
I think you should elaborate on that because he wrote it. So that is something which, as I said, don't drag me into the GST tale. That is something because I'll be very, very clear about who talks about what. There are a lot of new policy changes coming up in the government, and we are very close to the assembly session. If I open my mouth and give you what the Chief Minister is going to do in 2 weeks, that won't be right. So I can tell you, Suresh, but there's going to be a big step coming in Jan, again during the budget session.
Pertaining to general?
Pertaining to, there are certain requests that are pending with the union, and the direction that we are going to try and take with pertaining to GST and taxation per se. So I think the Honorable Chief Minister and the economic advisors that he has, they're sitting on a big discussion. I think they've done it at least twice. There's something big coming up, and I think that tweaking is something for the Chief Minister and the Honorable Finance Minister to roll out. Yeah.
I think we have crossed our time. The Minister has been gracious, but you know, I will be thrown to the wolves if I don't ask you this question, which is that in this entire game plan for ensuring the transition of Tamil Nadu from an industrial powerhouse to a knowledge economy, there is this element of what is called ESG, which is environmental impact, social responsibility, and governance structure. Now, how much of your time is spent and how much energy, attention are you paying to ensuring that environment impact is minimized, social responsibility ensured, and governance structure is honored? Now, we had environment calamities, problems, and so therefore we cannot ignore it. So your thoughts, and that will be a final wisdom.
So, as you said, sustainability is something which we are yet to connect with the Dravidian model. The social responsibility part and the governance part is already inbuilt into the Dravidian model of governance. What people don't understand is sustainability has always been part of the way the leader, the Honorable Chief Minister now, and his father, the glorious Thiru Kalingar Avargal, when Kalingar, even every year when he used to celebrate his birthday, the first thing he gets up at 3:30, 4 in the morning, and the first thing he does is plant a sapling, right? And he probably was one of the greatest leaders with some of the greenest fingers, and environment for him per se was very, very close. to his heart. He's a poet, he's a writer, he's everything. So you know how, of course he's connected to the environment. And so is his son now, the Honorable Chief Minister now. Tamil Nadu has 23%, close to 23% of green cover, and our target is to hit 33%. That's a 50% jump. That's a 50% jump for green cover by 2031, and which is close to about 11,500 square kilometers of greening. We'll probably be greening a size of a country in the near future. And we've already started. We have the highest number of Ramsar sites that have been announced, the highest number of sanctuaries that have been announced. You have the Slender Loris Sanctuary, you have the Dugong Sanctuary, and the Grizzled Squirrel Sanctuary being announced. Extremely close to his heart. And we understand that sustainability and ESG is something which is huge, not just in, not that much in India yet, but abroad. See, wherever industry manufactures and delivers, wherever that end product grows, that they probably would want to know the ESG goals of this, the place of origin, right? And I think that is why DEI, ESG, no other state does it better than Tamil Nadu. So as industry, as a wise investor, when you come into Tamil Nadu and invest, you tick all these boxes very easily, which is something which other states won't be able to do. So that's one of our biggest success stories, and we've kept to it. We've stuck to our sustainability line. Our net zero target again is way at least a decade, 2 decades. At least a decade ahead of India's target, the nation's target. We are going the EV way in a big way. We are already entering the hydrogen ecosystem in a big way. We have already enabled the EV rollout. We're going to push that. You're going to see a lot of charging points coming up. You're going to see very soon the scrapping policy coming out.
There are targets to them?
Yes, every single thing is target oriented, and most of these targets are way ahead of India's targets. So because we've already done that, we've grown this thus far. So if you look at the environmental side of it, we definitely very clear about our goals. The mangrove mission, we have, there's so many missions being announced that I really lose count of. We have some of the best officers in place, luckily for us now, and the Honorable Chief Minister himself has very green fingers, so he's very into it. So we probably have the greenest state in India.
Thank you very much. I think the Minister has been very kind, very generous with his time and with his wisdom. So please give him a vote of thanks, and hand it back to our Chief Operating Officer.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Thanks for being so candid and open in the fireside chat. And the way you took the questions, even much appreciated the way you said that the last question is going to be a tougher one, but I'm going to take it. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you, Mr. Bhattacharya. एक कोई भैया आए हाँ है ना
है
ये लिखा हो ये रहने दो इसको बीच में रहने Hello. We are about to start the next session in a couple of minutes. May I request everyone to please gather inside and take your seats. May I request everyone to please take their seats. We are starting the second session. Requesting one more time to please keep your mobiles on a silent mode. Yeah, thank you. For a second panel discussion, today we have an esteemed panel and I'm pleased to invite Ms. Prashanti Bodugam from Walmart. Please give a round of applause to all the panelists whenever the panelists are walking up. Thank you. Mr. Puneet Gupta, Caledofin. Mr. Mathangi Sri Ramachandran from UB. Mr. B. Balakrishnan from BRK Soft. I think they deserve a better round of applause. Mr. Sunil Kumar, Global Central World Bank. Mr. V. Vishnu from Guidance, Tamil Nadu. And Mr. Shantilal Jain from Indian Bank. May I also invite Mr. A.K. Bhattacharya on the stage, please.
Am I audible? Yeah. After such an exciting session with the minister, the challenge for me has become even more formidable. We have to make it more exciting. So what I would do is we will, I think, soon be joined by Mr. Vishnu, from Guidance TN, and we will have a discussion in a manner that when he joins us, we will ask him our suggestions and the observations that we made here, so that it will be a very good end of the panel discussion. This session will be discussing the rising stars in Tamil Nadu, global capability centers, and the Fintech and how they are driving innovation. So what I would do is that we have got a mixed panel where there are people who are in the Fintech area. There are people who are into they have understanding of the GCC sector. They are like Prashanti is already into GCC, Global Technology Center, not to say GCC. So we'll start with the preliminary observations, maybe if it is okay by the panelists, about 2 to 3 minutes on what they see as the major challenges in their sector in ensuring that the goals and the targets that the minister outlined in these areas can be achieved. So since Prashanti is sitting there, so maybe I will start with you and talk about Walmart's own experience and how the challenges and the targets that you have set for yourself and how they can contribute to Tamil Nadu's overall vision. Prashanti, yeah.
Sure, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah. It's always a privilege to be sharing the panel with such distinguished guests here. Coming to the story for Walmart, we entered Tamil Nadu about 4 years back in midst of the pandemic. And it's been a very encouraging and a very interesting story for us because we were not only able to scale, but we were able to attract the best-in-class talent for Walmart Global Technology, which seamlessly, kind of blended into what we already have had for almost more than a decade in India. Number one has been, of course, the talent. The number two has been the way we were able to kind of not only scale, but build in a culture of belongingness and a purpose and start delivering to the value for Walmart. And number 3 has been the ability to kind of, create the communities, which is probably the biggest strength for us, having been here in Chennai. However, if I have to touch on the challenge,
Sure.
As we continue to grow, as we continue to invest into new technologies, disruptive technologies, the ability to scale and get the talent is what we are looking for. As we start getting into more LLMs, how do we ensure that the colleges are keeping up with the pace and are able to kind of come ahead of the game? I'll give you 2 more examples and then probably pass on. We have a great partnership with IIT Madras, where we are doing a lot of work with them in the data science space. And the second one that we are trying to also do is set up a incubation center with the Government of Engineering College in Coimbatore. Both of them great experiments, something that we want to kind of bring the talent ahead of the game and see how they can participate. But I think what we would like to see more is how can the colleges and the academies kind of partner with guidance and continue to be ahead of the game for us.
Okay, thank you. Can I come to Sunil? And you have a 36,000 feet perspective on what's really happening on the ground. If you can let this audience know what's really happening in this area of probably you can cover both GCCs as well as Fintech because you have that perspective. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm Puneet. I'm a co-founder at Kaleidofin. Kaleidofin is a fintech company. Our big focus has been to see how do we reach out financial services to low-income households, smaller enterprises, and the minister talked about in the last session, I was very encouraged to hear that increasing access to microcredit as well as finance to small and medium enterprises is something which is extremely important for the growth of the industry. What Kaleidofin is trying to do is try to see how do we use the power of technology and data science to exactly be able to do this. A lot of enterprises, and this is true for most of the developing world, these entities just do not have access to financial services. And it's a combination of really 2 things. One, data may not be always available. The second thing is that willingness of banks to lend to these entities is typically not up to the mark and perhaps comes back to the same absence of data, which makes it very, very hard to work with some of these entities. So what Kaleidofin does is it starts to use the power of data science, combines whatever information is available through a lot of data that is now being digitally generated in India, starting from Aadhaar, starting from India Stack, starting from GST and network, starting from the use of bank accounts which have started to come through any subsidies that have been flowing through it. And then of course the credit bureau information, and that starts to give out a very interesting picture of the household. Access to finance for a lot of enterprises becomes very critical, largely because of the fact that a very, very large proportion of our country is engaged in self-employed ventures. While we look at a very large industry, one would argue that something between 70 to 80% of the households are either self-employed or are dependent on somebody who's self-employed. And for a self-employed household, there is a very clear correlation. The more you're able to invest in your enterprise, the more is your income. So for a small shopkeeper, the kind of stock that you keep determines what you earn. Even if you want to earn dairy income, you need to have those 2 cows. So that's basically where finance comes into picture. I think what we've found very exciting is the fact that India could start to be a major force here. We are very, very advanced when it comes to technology. We have very strong data scoring backgrounds and use of data backgrounds in general. And we can actually start a lot of South-South cooperation. Kaleidofin itself has started its work in places like Bangladesh, Nigeria, and Kenya, where a lot of the work that we've done in terms of thinking through financial services can now be taken to other geographies.
Just one question. How does inclusion get expedited in the kind of work that you are doing in Kaleidofin?
Right. So the moment you start to look at low-income households, there are 2 big challenges. One is just how do you create outreach to these customers. The cost to serve is very, very, very high. And the second is that data is not available. So even if you can reach them, providing financial services is very hard. By Fintech, what it does is it starts to use the power of digital technologies. Today, most of us do not ever visit a bank branch. And a lot of the work that we at Kaleidofin do is to envision that can we work with the last mile customers and see if they could use their mobile phones as effectively. So a lot of our work has been to design everything in local languages, actually sometimes in local dialects. Use a lot of voice so that people are not necessarily using only smartphones. Feature phones along with voice becomes a very powerful medium to be able to do this. So through our data science work and through our technology, we start to reach out to everybody, and that's basically what becomes a very big engine to be able to reach out to a large population.
And the regulator, how does the regulator come in? He's not yet breathing down your neck.
So I think the thing is, like any other nascent industry, I think fintech is starting to see models, and when you look at it, I think there are people who are always looking at breaching boundaries, and regulator is trying to define boundaries. So I think that kind of a healthy tension continues to grow. I think thankfully we've operated in a space where we've said that you just can't grow disproportionately without keeping the laws of land in mind. There is a lot of space which is available largely through partnership with other banks, and I think we've been very fortunate to get good banking partners to be able to reach out.
Okay, I now come to Mr. Jain, and I am deliberately coming to Mr. Jain because you are from the Indian Bank, and would you agree with what Puneet is saying on the fintech inclusion? Probably would agree. And what kind of a role does the regulation play or should play? Are there any dangers or not? Your perspective.
So first of all, thank you for providing opportunity. So first I will say the context basically. We started from Chennai only and started in 1907. Today we are in 11.5 lakh crore of a business, and 20% of business comes from the Tamil Nadu. So we are having 13 crore customers. So Tamil Nadu is very important for us. Now, what we have seen, basically we are a retail bank and growing 12-13% retail. So retail means customers. So customer wants better experience and lowest turnaround time. So the fintechs are useful to us. Today we are taking benefit of assistance from the fintech, from the payment system, from the lending, for giving better customer experience. Virtually in all fields we are taking. And because of that, we are able to grow continuously 12 or 13% and also increase our customer base. So today it is 13 crore and every year we are adding customers. So I am totally in agreement with what he has said.
Okay. Unfortunately, I think Mr. Vishnu is not joining us. So I will come to the World Bank perspective at the end. So I want you to listen to all of them and then give your perspective on what they are saying, and would you agree with them or not. Let me go to Matangi. I was looking at your website, and it says that you have redefined the global debt market, or you are planning to do that. Can you tell us a little more about how are you doing it, and what kind of change will it bring about in your operations?
Good afternoon, everyone. So we are from UB, and what we do is we build the financial lending infrastructure for the country. What that means is there are pockets of places which genuinely requires debt, and through our vision we are trying to make debts available across the country to deserving pockets. So we are a marketplace which connects enterprises to funding houses, be it banks, NBFCs, etc. And we are a channel through which the flow of money happens. Our systems, which are both AI based as well as deeply integrated within the bank systems, are able to power the flow and also help financial institutions make decisions better. That's the core of what we are doing. Mm-hmm. So be it loans, or be it we have also a division on securities. All of the transactions flow through the platform. It also helps in discovery for the banks to find new pockets of needs of lending, etc. also.
So what are the challenges that you face?
So it's been interesting, to work, especially with the talent in Tamil Nadu, right? So it's been a great journey personally for me so far. I lead data for UB, and it's been a great discovery of talent. I'm proud of the team that we have here.
This is a local talent? Local
talent,
or you are getting it from
various institutes also here. As well as, talent that is native to Tamil Nadu. I am brought up here. I did my engineering in Karaikudi, did my MBA in NIT Trichy. But I have spent a lot of my professional career in Bangalore. So this is my first time that I am working with a company headquartered in Chennai in the fintech space. So in terms of talent, I think there's a large pool of talent that is available. So I am a data person, so my first challenge would be on data. So especially on regional languages, where we want to make funds reach, right? We also need to reach people. We need to talk their languages. We need to have systems that kind of understand what is people's need based on what they speak and based on some of the documents and things local to these areas. So data is a challenge because largely internet is spread with English as a language. So one big thing that we need to overcome is how do we kind of take our services to regional languages and to culturally match those offerings that people need. So that's one big thing. The second thing could be, along with data comes, I would agree with what Puneet said, certain instrumented data sources which can make credit scores better. I think we are lacking there as more things come up on the infrastructure of tracking some of these. I think credit decisioning will also become very effective and useful. So those are the two things that I would place as the challenges. In terms of opportunities lies the talent, pretty innovative, thriving talent in the state. And I would also agree with the Minister when he talked about the talent need not only come from the IITs, IIScs and IIMs, it could also come from a lot of, lot of education institutes in the state, which we are seeing a lot of value while we work with this talent in these pockets. So I think those are the opportunities as well.
Okay, I think it's the right time to get into Ramakrishnan. He runs School of Financial Techniques. Yeah. And how do you see this problem that Matangi talked about, and what are you doing to address that, or are you doing something more which probably will take care of the problems that have been raised right now?
Yes, good afternoon to all of you. It's a privilege first to be here along with Mr. Bhattacharya, because the stages he shares is illustrious stages. So just to add to what he was saying, or Martin was saying, see, I run this school, it's called School of Financial Techniques. This basically is for MBAs or BComs, final years, technical class, working professionals in the areas of finance. See, what I address here is Fintech. Much before that is our solution. Fintech is post you apply for a debt or you apply for a loan, you analyze and then you get the data. But here it starts much before. So when a balance sheet is given, the student has to quickly analyze the numbers and say whether he is eligible or not. Now it doesn't happen today other than IIMs or XLRIs or XIMs. You don't get a chance to do case studies. I think one of the floor members was talking to a person or asking a question on the case studies. In IIMs, for example, I don't know how many of you know this, in IIMs, you have a chance to go through case studies of Harvard, as groups are formed, and then you make a case presentation. In SOFT, what you do is I've handled about 140, 150 cases of various challenges in markets or balance sheets. So what I do is, when I address the students, it's a 20-hour program. It's a short-term duration, 1-month program. So what I do is, when I talk about a particular analysis or when I talk about a product, I tell them as to how we did it for a particular industry, particular balance sheet itself, so particular company also. So this is something which I address. And today, I can tell you, no institution so far addresses these issues. With case studies where the professors himself have handled it, and the products, there are about 90 financial products in the market, like CC, ODs, term loans, FCTLs, ECBs, etc., etc. You have a host of 90 products. I am proud that I have handled all of them at various stages. At the age of 21, I handled L&T's public issue, which was 850 crores in 1989. You imagine the size of the issue. And I had Ketan Parekh, Harsham Mehta bombarding questions on me, and I was answering them. The issue is how you develop your own talents. And see, it takes about 15-20 long years for somebody to come in a stage like this. I thought, why don't I take it as a CSR activity and give this to the students from fresh out of colleges, train them right away, and give them an opportunity to get the jobs as fast as possible and earn as fast as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Now is the turn to come to my friend from the World Bank. Various issues have been raised, the evolving landscape in GCCs, inclusion challenge, data challenge, regulation. What is your perspective? In India, even now, World Bank is the repository of all wisdom. So why don't you share that wisdom with us?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope I'm audible. Yeah. So we are one of the GCCs in India. World Bank has a Global Capability Center. It was set up in 2001 in Chennai. And, the Global Capability Center is for the benefit of the group. It is basically doing your corporate functions or business operations outside of your headquarters, wherever it could be, where it can meet the objectives of that offshoring, whether it's cost, talent, value addition, risk management, etc. So we want to tap this kind of business, for the World Bank in Chennai. And we have been very successful in doing so, set up in 2001 with 70 staff, 1 unit, and we are now 1,400 plus staff and contractors from over 15 corporate units in Chennai. So our
sorry, I'm interrupting you. Why did you choose Chennai?
Yes, I'm coming there.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. First of all, why India? That is also a very important question. Why India first? And, when we looked at this kind of function, we know that, one is that cost of doing business. Second is that the talent availability. The third is that favorable government policies in terms of receptivity of the government. So there was no brainer that India was leading that effort at that point in time when we started looking at India for offshoring business operations. Now the question was very difficult for us to where India we should go to. And we came to Chennai because, again, Chennai, in terms of geopolitical risk for Tamil Nadu, I think we kind of look at that. We looked at the talent availability. At that time, while we started with the accounting functions in 2001, but we knew that we are going to grow over a period of time to other verticals like IT, the procurement or HR, etc. So we looked at those skills. We found that Chennai, Tamil Nadu can provide that kind of skills. We also see that as a Tamil Nadu state, many speakers before me talked about it, how it's a safe city, it's a healthcare destination, it's one of the best in educations. 21% of top universities are in Tamil Nadu. 32% of top colleges in Tamil Nadu. So the talent availability is no question. So I think we want to kind of leverage that ecosystem in the state and prosper or bring our offshore center here. So we have been very, very grateful to the government of Tamil Nadu for the support that we continue to get from them. Now you talked about the challenges. All this is a good story. As we grow over the ecosystem, as we grow over a period of time, we also want to kind of add more value to our business units. And as we go, there is we also want to make sure that we develop our skills further within the center. And the GCCs normally face challenges with respect to talent attraction and talent retention when there is hordes of other players in the ecosystem trying to hire from, from the state or from the country. So we also face similar challenges, although we have very less attrition. But to keep up pace with those, the talent management strategies, etc., is the key to us in terms of looking at. I think the other important from the overall Tamil Nadu point of view is that, we heard about Minister talking about the brain drain, which happens from Tamil Nadu not only to other states but to other countries as well. And I think, the GCC ecosystem has developed to that level that, we can definitely bring down, Minister talked about R&D work, product development work, etc. If we can bring that work, which can help us to stop that brain drain and keep that talent within so that, we can do high-end work. So that's another challenge, I think, which you can positively overcome as a part of overall. So you talked about Fintech. And Fintech plays a very important role, in the ecosystem, especially from the GCCs as well as from the other financial institutions' point of view. And, Fintech helps in transparency, financial inclusion, and also it helps in reducing the transaction cost and improves the speed. But it also comes with many other challenges. And, the challenges of, you talked about regulations. It may be, very heavy for the organizations to adopt to, but this is also very important in terms of cybersecurity, in terms of know your customer, etc. So those challenges are basically there, but I think this is also a responsibility on the organizations as well as regulators to work together so that those challenges can be addressed. I think that's what I will say.
Yeah, sure. I have some supplementary questions to you. Two questions precisely. One is that World Bank has a primary relationship with the Union Government of India. And it is only recently that World Bank is having direct relationship with the state governments also. Disintermediation of a relationship of a multilateral institution with the states has been very, very halting and not a very easy flow. Did you face any problem or hurdles in deciding to have it in Tamil Nadu, or did you have to go to the union government to get the government's permission to locate it here? That's my first question. Yeah. Was that an...
Yes, that is how it,
So it got the center's permission?
Definitely. We have to go to the center, but center was very helpful in terms of helping us to set up the business wherever we want to.
Okay.
We chose Tamil Nadu for the reason that I mentioned.
Yeah, sure.
And there is an establishment agreement, which is at the center level, and then we can go to any state.
Okay.
So I think it has been very positive for us.
Yeah. So the picture is slightly mixed now. Those who think that the center always acts against the state, it doesn't always.
I don't think that it's our experience.
The second supplementary to you would be that today you are doing it in Chennai. What are the circumstances under which will probably force you a rethink on moving out of Chennai?
I don't think that we can move out of Chennai. The kind of successes that we have gained and the potential that this state brings in. In fact, it's the other way around, that we have now start thinking about, okay, whether we should grow further because of the concentration risk that we have. But we have already set up another center, global center, outside of India in Eastern Europe. And this is because of the successes that we have made in Tamil Nadu, in India, for this kind of business operations. So we have set up another center in Eastern Europe, and that's small.
So in a global scale, where does Chennai operations rank?
Thank you for asking this. Yeah. This is the largest center outside of headquarters in Chennai.
And so efficiency, productivity?
It's very much, as I said, we are kind of, when we set up this center, we have made a lot of process improvements through automation, through using fintech technologies. As a result, we have made tremendous gains in terms of efficiency, productivity, etc. Whether it is a payment to the vendors, whether it is hire to retire functions, procure to pay, etc. So I think it's not looking
And
bad.
you haven't faced any local regulatory or local procedural or local factor market disturbances?
We have our own code of conduct that we follow, which is above everything. And in terms of, as a good corporate citizen, we have to make sure that we ensure compliance to the local regulations through our own code of conduct.
One final supplementary. Yes. Since I came to at the end, that's why.
Yeah, sure.
Any other states that figured in your original decision when you were looking at the setting up the center? Of course, Chennai got the nod, but what are the other states or cities
we looked at,
that came?
In terms of the global capability centers, as you know that there are many states in the competition. For example, NCR was one state.
Okay.
We had, the Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh at that time.
You looked at them
We
also.
looked at everything.
And you found Chennai is a preferred
again,
location.
every state brings their advantages. We have to make a decision. We have to open one center. And we thought of Tamil Nadu at that point.
Okay, okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Welcome.
All the best. I will come to you, Prashanti. You talked about the evolving scenario, and Sunil mentioned about why Chennai is the preferred global capability center. Why did you choose Chennai as your center? You are also in Bangalore, your Walmart is largely in Bangalore. I mean, I'm talking about the retail outlet. And you chose Chennai. Why? What was the factors? Can you take us into that thinking process?
Sure. For any... Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think I can, but I don't know about the audience.
Can you hear? Okay. Yeah, good question. I think every GCC, when it starts evolving, right, we do start with one location. For us, that was Bangalore. And as we started getting to a critical mass, it was very important for us to start looking at where can we diversify to get a similar kind of a talent. We have done a recce across the country as well. And we chose Chennai largely for two reasons. One, the diversity of the talent that we get here. Honorable Minister talked about the diversity, especially from a gender standpoint, has been a significant, good news for us because we've been able to attract a lot of our, female associates in Chennai. The second one has been, of course, the academia and the, the talent, particularly in the retail space. The fact that we were adjacency to, what we could tap into from a financial talent pool here or the manufacturing talent pool, it really helped us to kind of get that base as well. As you evolve, I think Sunil talked about it a little bit, the GCC start looking at beyond doing the mundane tasks, right? That's how we start. But again, we kind of get into the value proposition of what more can you do? Can you become the innovation index for the organization? Can you start doing IP? Matangi talked about it, right? I mean, how do you really start building that? For that, what's important is you get into the techno-functional space, and I think we have been very successful in that space, largely from our talent pool in Chennai. While we don't differentiate who does what across the geo, in 4 years we've been at par in terms of how the work gets delivered as well. That said, one of the key things that we continue to evolve ourselves is our ability to retain. That's been one of our success stories as well in Chennai. So,
how do you manage to retain talent?
One is the differentiation of the work that we do, right? I mean, as you start maturing, as you know more about the organization, as you know the business that you're doing, there's a lot that goes on in the retail space. We all have seen it in the, in the pandemic, how, last mile delivery came into picture, curbside pickups, like, order, from what used to be a retail store to a omni, where, you started leveraging a lot of your, mobile technologies came into existence, right? So there's a lot that goes on from a retail technology standpoint, and I think post-pandemic we have seen a lot of value coming from, how our associates start thinking about solving the problems. That's been a great retention strategy outside of course, everything that every GCC offers, right? It's all about, are you able to bring in a very good, belongingness, like I talked about that? Are you able to kind of, help the associates feel what the organization has to give for you? Again, lot of stories, including the one that recently happened, how, we responded to our associates in terms of needs. That kind of plays a long, role in terms of making them feel that the organization that they're working for is beyond, the perks that they get. Ability to respond to the associates' needs also, has been one of our key critical retention tactics.
There's literature on this which suggests that when East India Company came to India and invested in English education in this country, they were essentially aimed at creating clerks so that they could get better clerks who knows the language. And when the information technology boom happened, it was said that the coders are the new clerks. My question to you is that in the Global Capability Center boom, are these the third generation clerks that we're producing, or is there a scope for transition, value addition, so that they see growth from what they are doing right now? Is that natural growth inherent in the Global Capability Center model, or they will be like stunted growth? So what would you say?
It's a very good question. A lot of the global capability centers have already started going in that path of creating value creation. Like as I said, the innovation index has become something very significant for every organization to measure how their talent is growing. One of the things that we also see is, growth is not always one of the key parameters for a GCC, right? It's also about, once you're in a sustenance mode, how do you really start creating the value? And that comes through creating global roles sitting where you are. I'm a classic example of that. I started the center, I grew it, now I'm moving on to do something in the e-commerce space. So the growth just doesn't come as the vertical. It's also about how are you blending into the global talent, how are you solving some of the important problems for the organization, and therefore the value that you create for yourself. So it's evolving. It's becoming more norm of delivering value from where you sit versus just kind of doing the mundane tasks. So
yeah, one final question before I move to Puneet. It is said that India accounts for almost 40% of the world's global capability centers, or something like that, a huge number. Which are the countries that are trying to snatch a little bit away from this business at this point in time?
My perspective, no country is snatching from any other country. It's just about
competition.
How are we evolving. And there's every organization has been betting on follow the sun model. Therefore, some of the Eastern European countries come into play. Some of the Southeast Asian countries come into the play, because when you start thinking about a product being developed at speed, with quality, and directing at the consumers, because we are blurring the lines of the geos and trying to address the consumers across the world. Therefore, it's extremely important that we get the perspective from every part of the region across the world. Therefore, follow the sun. As you go, the regions that come into picture are there plenty. But like as I said, India continues to have the scale and the talent pool that continues to give them the competitive advantage over the other countries and other geos.
So you decided not to answer my question.
I thought I answered the question.
Now I wanted names of our competing
Sure.
countries.
Again, like as I said, it's not the competitiveness, but it's purely the countries that are in the range of that follow the sun, go as far as Ireland, all the way to Philippines, Manila.
Okay.
We see quite
Fair
a bit
enough.
of that through the world.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Puneet, let me, you talked about financial inclusion as one of the goals that fintech helps you achieve. But my question to you is that how far has, and I may be completely wrong, how far has the language barrier in the fintech business has been overcome to achieve while achieving inclusion, in a sense that are we somewhere as good or as modern, as updated in reaching out to masses of people who may not be educated in English? So what's your sense?
Yeah, no, that's a very wonderful question. So I think the big challenge, and this is classically what India offers, right? We have a very, very concentrated number of people who have a very high purchasing power, right? We keep hearing taxpayers are like 1 crore or 2 crores, mutual fund investors are maybe 3 crore in number. And if you see most of the fintech companies in the country, they would typically start to build out for this group. This is a group that already has smartphones, already has a UPI, already has a good credit score, and most of the segments have really chased out to this particular population. But when you go towards the segment that we are working with, which is a lot of women entrepreneurs, a lot of women through microfinance programs, a lot of nano and small enterprises, I think that is where language as well as use for a smartphone to be able to pull financial services becomes extremely critical. So people might be able to send out a WhatsApp message, look at YouTube, but to do a financial transaction is hard. I would actually even say that even our parents sometimes struggle to be able to do basic transactions like sending money. And there is a little bit of a concern around safety, security, all of these UPI related frauds that keep happening, PIN sharing, all of those become challenges. And language is one of those key things which add to a lot of discomfort in this particular space. So at least what we've tried to do at Kaleidofin has been to say that let's use local language. We developed our apps in local languages. In fact, we tried to make sure that we are not using too much text. We use symbols which are universally understood. Our call centers are run in local languages and, like I said, in local dialects sometimes. For example, in UP and Bihar, we run a call center in Bhojpuri and Maithili because that's actually much better understood as Hindi. And then sometimes it's a misnomer to say that half of the country speaks Hindi. Hindi is no one dialect. So I think we've had to get to that particular space to be able to make sure that people are comfortable. And when people understand what you're saying, their ability to respond is extremely high. So my own sense about at least the work that we are doing in fintech is that we are not 100% tech system. We today use a tech and touch model. We try to offer assistance, call centers, IVRs, where if a customer gets stuck, you need to get to the next level of support. And I think this is again truly a strength of India. We have people available where the cost structures of providing assistance still works. And when you now start to make sure that eventually people will move to a fully tech-based system, you start to create that fundamental capability. And I think that's what is a good balance.
Okay, one supplementary. There is this concern, even in parts of India, or when you go to a developed country like the US, this business of OTPs, business of swiping the card without any putting your PIN. Now these are considered in these advanced countries and also in parts of India as new facilities that need to be encouraged. And yet these are facilities that many Indians frown upon because of security reasons. Where do you stand on this issue that as a fintech company, I'm an old-fashioned man, I love OTPs. I feel good, I feel secure, I never use my mobile phone banking app when I'm in a hotel public Wi-Fi environment. So where would you as a fintech person, how would you classify this dilemma of people? There are a lot of people who I'm sure will have the same question.
Yeah. So this is one of those classic challenges where there's no easy answer to it, right? Technically speaking, when I'm making a small payment, I love the UPI Lite, which is PIN free. You don't even have to enter anything. The speed of transaction where you can just tap your card, no PIN required, is the fastest. It's actually even faster than scanning a QR code. And when you're talking about at least payments infrastructure, when it comes into play, you have to always make sure that your payment methodology has to be easier than carrying cash in your wallet and counting the cash and give it to you. And that creates its own set of things that you can do with it. My own sense is that we are a country where a very large number of people are first-time smartphone users, first-time users of financial services app, and I think our key differentiator will become biometrics. It's unique to you, not as easy to kind of copy, and as long as we decide to create a very strong sense of protocols on how our biometrics can be used and stored by different apps, I think that, to my mind, will be the best opportunity going forward. It will also be equally fast.
Okay. Let me come to Matangi. The debt market is never placed in the same pedestal as the equity market. And in terms of in the fintech space, where is debt and how can debt become a little more attractive for the lay investors? Is there any way to it? And added to that is there a role that the regulator is not playing or should be playing, or it is better if it stay out of it? What's your perspective on these issues?
So I want to clarify a few things. So we are a marketplace. We don't take exposure on our balance sheet. And a lot of businesses run their business today using debts and loans. That's the way of life. Though equity markets are glorified, the actual business happens through taking funds from banks and then running it. So that way, it has its importance, and it is a big growth driver for the country. If you compare it with the developed market in the US, we are still underexposed to debt, and that's the way to go about it. And hence, we have seen growth in this space where we are working very closely with a lot of new age enterprises, manufacturing units, etc., and fulfilling their debt needs, through which they are able to do their business. So that is continuing to be a growth driver, and it will always be. What was your second question?
RBI.
The regulation. So we work with the regulator. So we are not directly regulated like a financial institute. Wherever we have licenses, we come under those regulations. But core business is not kind of regulated through how an NBFC would get regulated, right? But because we work with banks and NBFCs equally, we make sure that our data or our InfoSec guidelines follow those regulations regularly. In terms of, so far it's been where we have anticipated some of this, especially again, coming from data, I can give you examples. We are expecting the PDP bill, so we make all our data compliant to GDPR kind of regulations, even as the bill is getting passed, right? So we anticipate some of these, and we protect our data. Not only we do that, we also kind of, because we are so deeply engaged with banks, we also enable them with tools and techniques to protect their data also. So that's the angle we look at it.
I will come to the audience for their questions, if they have any, after once I finish with Mr. Ramakrishnan, Mr. Jain, and Mr. Sunil Kumar. Mr. Ramakrishnan, in the space of financial education, where do you think Tamil Nadu is, or India is, if we were to give you a very difficult question, or in a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is the best and 1 is the poorest, where would you be, where Tamil Nadu and India would be? If you can get a comparative assessment of Tamil Nadu and India.
Yeah, rather than doing a scaling, I would like to answer the question a little differently. See, I also run a consulting firm where we do host of products. So when candidates come for an interview, I give them a very simple question is I give them an annual report of a company. They have a calci, they have a pen and paper to write. I'll tell them, the question is very simple. Is this company strong or weak? Okay, that's the question I ask. I found even rank holders in chartered accountancy, 13th rank holders, they also fumbled. they could maximum write the ratios and give. Because this side, they are gold medalists. And this side, they lack skills of picking up the numbers from a balance sheet, live balance sheet, and then answering these questions. Now, the reason is, there has been no finance lab per se. To run a program like this. So you have a chemistry lab. For example, a professor teaches you what is H2O. So you have a chance to go to a chemistry lab and then find out if 2 molecules and 1 molecule of hydrogen is water. But you don't have that in finance. The fundamental reason is the demonstrator of this lab must have core practical skills in 4 areas. For example, in corporate finance, in private equity and venture funds, or funding corporation like mutual funds, or M&As and valuations, and the last is banking insurance sectors. Okay. So I am proud to have all these 4 in my career. Now I thought I should take this as a CSR activity. Not many people have a chance like this. I thought I should take this as a chance as an activity, and fortunately for me, NSDC has come forward to co-certificate this program. That was very recent. In fact, the last 1 month we got all these things done. So end of it, for example, I'll quickly say about a small ratio. Now, everybody knows here that when you go for a working capital assessment, the bank will ask you whether your current ratio is 1.3 or more or less. If you're more than 1.3, the bank is we're too happy to take it forward. But then, if you take the books, I can bet not a single book so far talks about a ratio of 1.33. It says 2:1. I think professors all will agree to this. Now, if you say 1.33:1 in your theory, you are failed. If you say 2:1 in your interview, you are failing the interview also. So these type of skills is what we are teaching to the people.
And you think this is making an impact?
Absolutely. In fact, I can tell you that now, as of now, I have private banks to underwrite about 150 to 200 students of mine.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. All the best. Mr. Jain, you are a traditional banker, and you heard all this fintech and this. What would be your game plan now as a traditional banker, and how do you see your in the days to come? Give us a perspective on that.
Yeah. So basically, we are in post-pandemic world. Now the customer expectation has increased. Now fintechs have also come in all fields. So starting from the payment system. So we too also have collaborated with the fintechs for payment solutions. Starting from say ePay or PhonePe or the companies. Then e-commerce. We have a tie with the e-commerce. Then debit card, credit card. Then in the lending space also we have a collaboration with the fintechs, starting from eKYC to balance that account statement analyzer to Form 16 analyzer or ITR analyzer or GST analyzer, right? And in every field actually we are having fintech collaborations, and we are increasing this collaboration. So but we started number of journeys in our bank we started. So far we started around 63 journeys from the retail, agri, MSME space. And what we are doing here that these journeys are available to you on mobile banking, to internet banking, or even to assisted mode. And I'm happy to share that we started last year, and today we are around close to 50,000 crore of a digital business we are having, and we planned that the first year we will have a 70,000 crore of a business. This is how we are changing bank from the traditional banking to a digital banking. And here I'm telling you, without fintech collaboration, we can't do. Even our general banking also, even for our CASA, because now everybody wants a value-added products. So in addition to they want a MIS as well. If you talk to any central government or a state government, in addition to that they want number of data points. Suppose an SNA account which is happening in government, they want project-wise, municipality-wise, state-wise, district-wise. That all, if you have that fintech collaboration, then you can able to provide. And if you are able to provide, then only you will have a CASA or a deposit account. So that way, suppose a customer comes even for wealth management, they want everything to be on a mobile. So we are providing number of services on mobile. So I'm telling you, with the support of fintech, we are providing value-added services to the customers, because if we totally depend on core banking, we will not be able to provide the services the customer wants. So for all parameters, whether for lending, payment, even day-to-day banking. So we are using this fintech. And what happens in our bank, we have created a fintech department where we are having collaborations with the fintech. And recently we launched RFP where we are 150 old fintechs we are empaneling for our business needs, because this is the future from my perspective.
Oh, that's your growth plan.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Sunil, I just wanted to end this discussion before we go to the questions from the audience. One very small, I've already asked you too many questions. When World Bank sets up this kind of a unit in India, in Chennai, is it treated as a World Bank parent outfit, or is it an India outfit for all practical purposes, including taxes?
So when we set up, World Bank is a multilateral organization. We don't have that concept of a legal entity outside of its headquarters. When we set up any office anywhere in the world, it's a World Bank office. Same procedures, same policies. Of course, cultural integration, happens over a period of time. So same thing. So we are World Bank office outside of its headquarters. It's very much integral part of the World Bank. And, we are the World Bank staff. So it's not that, we are different from World Bank.
So the salaries come in foreign exchange, or salaries come in
local,
Indian rupees?
because our
It's a local outfit.
Local. So
tax purposes, it is a Indian salary.
Indian salary.
So taxed at the Indian tax rate, not the World Bank salary.
No, because World Bank has some privileges and amenities as a part of our agreement with the governments. So in India, for example, our salaries are not taxed.
So that's the advantage that you have when you hire a guy in your global capability center.
It goes for the development purposes, because when we compare our salaries with the competitors, we factor the tax component.
I understand.
And then accordingly fix our salaries.
I understand. One question too, is it also the model that international companies like yours follow, that is it treated as an Indian company, or is it a subsidiary? Where does the income show? Is it in the parent? Because I was talking to another, I can name the company, Shell. They don't have an India outfit. It is the foreign company which has a division here. So how does Walmart operate it?
So pretty much plus one to what Sunil said. It's a legal entity, is India. However, we don't differentiate the talent. We don't differentiate the policies or any of them. However, from a employment standpoint, we are employed with India Inc.
India Inc. Okay. So questions from the floor. Please identify yourself. Yeah, please go ahead. Where are the mics? No need. Yeah, the mics will. It's gone there. It can't be there.
Sir, good afternoon to the jury. Hat-trick question. My question to Prashanti Madam. This is Dr. Raghotman from Radharakshmi Engineering College. Madam, understood that Walmart doesn't accept any product manufactured by the child labor, especially from Bangladesh. My second question is, how do you maintain your reorder level and supply chain management in Walmart, Madam?
I'm sorry, just couldn't hear both the questions.
Understood from the media that you don't accept any product manufactured by the child labor, especially government from Bangladesh.
This is a question that she probably cannot answer.
Yeah, Walmart, sir.
She's from the technology.
Technology. Okay, sir. Second question is that how do you maintain your reorder level and supply chain management in Walmart, Madam?
Sorry, what is it? Question?
Reorder level and supply chain management.
Okay, that's a very good question, by the way. One of the key strengths for us is our technology teams. What we call as a replenishment, because of the fact that, we sit on a lot of data and we know the stores that we operate and the scale. The technology has really helped us fast forward and leapfrog into how we look into our replenishment. Quite a few of those, by the way, are developed by our technology sitting in India for Walmart. And at the same time, from a supply chain standpoint, what has been a legacy of 40 years, we've been able to modernize all of that at scale, using our technologies. Happy to take it offline in terms of, how technology played a role into, building the solutions both for our replenishments and also supply chain.
Thank you. Any other question or we close it? Yeah, I don't think there's any question. Yeah, one question. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon. I'm Vivek. I'm founder of a deep tech startup called Keys and Voice. I hold 2 design patents on voice biometrics. It's an open question. What's your guidance in terms of deepfakes and how would deepfake on voice, on video and several sorts of data? What is your guidance to startups and how do we position ourselves for GCCs as well as fintechs? 2 is to the bank. Second question, follow-up question. How do you see this banking license for non-banking activity as a competition, or would the traditional bank morph as a neobank?
Okay, let me start with the second one first. So on the second one, the regulatory regime kind of offered in the country that bank licenses are now available on tap and anybody can apply and get a bank license. Although having said that, the RBI sets a very heavy bar on who could actually get a bank license, and a lot of that is to try to eliminate any kind of a conflict there. So we haven't seen new bank licenses coming in a hurry. I think the country has a very clear stand in terms of the regulatory regime on what a bank can do, what a non-bank can do. What we are starting to see a lot more clarity on what fintechs can do and how can they work with banks and non-banks. A lot of the policy push that at least I am seeing has been to say that banks need to do some of the stuff on their own and they can't just completely rely on fintechs, and therefore a lot of stuff around FLDGs and risk sharing has been kind of come under scanner. But I think that as clarity between what these 3 segments can do is going to emerge over a period of time.
So I would add, basically, in addition to bank, actually these fintechs are also going for NBFC license. And we are seeing that number of these fintechs through NBFC are giving loans as well. And so these are the number of facilities they are providing by becoming NBFC. So we too are providing in collaboration with this fintech gold loan even, because this is fintech and our collaboration, and based on that we are providing. Even some BNPL, buy now pay later, the number of facilities these fintechs are providing.
Deepfake, you want to answer?
Yeah, see, deepfakes thing, we have to see how it evolves in various forms and sectors. If you kind of take the financial industry, it has to, it will result in some level of fraudulent transactions or misrepresented identities, etc. Such cases are not that prevalent at this point in time, thankfully. But I think that space is pretty much growing fast. In fact, where the fake is at this point at its peak is on content, right? So we do not know who generated the content, and that creates a lot of things. On images plus video plus voice, voice again, that could be a huge opportunity if we can recognize if somebody calls, whether the customer is, it is the customer talking or somebody else talking, etc. That could be one big use case that can come in. But on vision and video, impact on financial industry we'll have to see and where it goes. As of now, it's a very nascent phase on that.
Last question, because we're running out of time.
Selection. There's every bank is giving the exact answer because of the quality of the product only they have emerged in the market. Through the mediator only there is an asymmetric information. That is why that people choosing the product or person on everything by misunderstanding by the mediator, but person is not understanding the business. Actually, 3 days before
So what is your question?
My question is, there isn't problem with the asymmetric information. There is no fact product in the bank and Walmart's are providing because they will not recognize as an international platform. That is what my queries for these questions.
Okay, so that's an observation you are making.
Not a question, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, please go ahead.
Myself, Dr. Suresh. I'm from Asset College of Science and Technology, Chennai. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity, sir, given by Business Standard. My question is, recently I have visited Dubai, sir. So in that I have seen there Islamic banking methods which is adapted in Gulf. Do you think that Islamic banking kind of method can be adapted in India, sir?
Anybody you would like to take?
So Sunil, sir, from Indian Bank, I would like to ask.
Come again.
So the Islamic banking methods which is adapted in Gulf country.
We are a regulated entity, so whatever the RBI guidelines, we to follow that. So far for Islamic banking, RBI has not come out with any guidelines.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Very clear, there's a regulated entity. So I think we come to the end of, as we say that all good things come to an end. A wonderful session, I thought. Please give this all the panelists a big round of claps, and I will hand it over back to Sachin. Sachin, take charge.
Yep. It was a very informative, and I'm sure the Business Standard readers tomorrow will have a lot to read and a lot take away from this particular panel discussion and the discussions which we had earlier. May I now request Rajiv Sharma and Ms. Sangeeta Kevra to present a token of appreciation to all the panelists.
Thank you so much, sir.
Please give a huge round of applause to all the panelists. And I now request Ms. Sangeeta Kevra to say the word of thanks.
Good afternoon to all of you. As said by A.K. Bhattacharya, all good things comes to an end. So has Tamil Nadu Roundtable 2023. On behalf of Business Standard, it is a great honor and a privilege to welcome all present here who witnessed a successful Business Standard Tamil Nadu Roundtable 2023. Special thanks to Dr. T.R.V. Raja, Minister for Industrial Investment Promotion and Commerce, Shri V. Arun Roy, Secretary, Department of Industries, Investment Promotion and Commerce. Distinguished panelists for the day, I also take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, without whom it would have not been easy to organize such an event. Presenting sponsor, Guidance Tamil Nadu and Government of Tamil Nadu. Associate sponsors, Refex, BRK Soft. Co-sponsors, Select, Canara Bank, Federal Bank, State Bank of India, and our webcast partner, 24 Frames. Please rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अतिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जाहे तब शुभ आशीष माहे गाहे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
I request all of you to join us for the lunch and networking. Thank you so much.
He's making his investments talk. Business Standard.